So do y'all know how the morning after the Oscars, McDonald's like posts the breakfast receipts? Because the idea being everybody was like up late and drinking, and they go to McDonald's for hangover food, so they post like, oh, Kei Kwan got a sausage biscuit and a hot coffee and some hot cakes, and like that's the bit, it's what everybody got. I'm having this catered arranged, so everybody gets McDonald's breakfast after this. So I do need everybody's order. Willow, you're like a McGriddle girl, right? You like a McGriddle.
No, I just like the forgive me bacon, egg, and cheese.
Okay, but on a biscuit or a...
Yeah, I do a biscuit because the McGriddle has sausage on it, right?
Not necessarily. The McGriddle is just like the pancake bun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess either way, I don't think I've gotten a McGriddle before.
Oh, I think
Really?
you love that shit.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
You'd love that. I think we got to put that on our list. We can have
Get a McGriddle.
It's like hearing someone say, "I've never tried an apple." It's like, well, I mean, I kind of want one now. And Troy, a cup of coffee, right?
Yeah, a cup of coffee. I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. Do you want a cup of coffee?
Guys, I'll have a sausage
Cup of coffee.
Guys.
And then Jay likes the...
Hey guys.
Yeah, Troy, cup of coffee.
No,
And
no
Jay...
cup of coffee. Guys, listen.
You want a sausage egg coffee?
No, I want a
Sausage and egg in your coffee?
Guys, shut up and listen.
The 4th annual Toasty Award!
Yes, I want a sausage
Is
patty.
it the 4th? I thought it was the 3rd. I named
This
it
is
the
the
3rd in the
4th.
Discord server.
No,
So
it's fourth.
This is how fucking long have we been doing this podcast for? This is crazy.
So it was my first favorite film was Turning Red. Was that 22?
God, I feel like it must have been.
And that was the same year as Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Bad Guys won.
It's crazy. Yeah, we've been doing the podcast longer than we've been doing the Toasties, because that was later.
Yes, yeah, we started the podcast like in August.
We've been doing the podcast since longer than I've been a girl.
That's true. Yeah. We've been doing the podcast longer than I've been bald. Ew.
Oh, that's sad.
You had a mullet when we started this. You had like 3 feet of Rapunzel hair down to your ass.
I had like a pompadour like Frankie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm your host, the man himself with all the McDonald's hotcakes in the world and friends who are valuable beyond compare that do his podcast. It's me, it's Tommy. To my left is the steak bagel anator. It's Willow.
What the fuck does that mean? The steak bagelinator?
I was gonna give you all a McDonald's breakfast item.
Oh, I thought that did not sound like. I thought you were just like, "Hey, it's me, Tommy, and here's this weird fucking thing. This is Willow."
And the innators are actually Wendy's. That's
Yeah.
not McDonald's.
Man. And then we have Dav, who knows about the food lingo more than I do.
It's because I worked at McDonald's.
Yes. Do you know? I've worked at, I think, one actual fast food restaurant. It's really funny which one it is.
Which one is it?
Do you want to take a guess?
Okay.
Culver's?
It's Noodles and Company.
Noodles?
Oh, fuck you, Jay.
I love their pad thai.
I did maybe 2 shifts at a Noodles and Company, and just kind of didn't go back.
Wow. I can't imagine. I did 3 years at McDonald's before I had to give that shit up.
Oh my. And we're your 3 hosts. I'm going to have to do some trimming on this episode. And
Wait, I still have to introduce myself with something diabetic related, or otherwise I'm going to lose the streak. So just everybody at home, just so you understand, I did work at McDonald's, and I got diabetes after that, or like in the middle of it, and it wasn't McDonald's that gave me the diabetes, but I do have it now, and I'm Dav.
You have to, every time you meet a new person, you have to clarify that, legally, like McDonald's makes you fill out a form.
Every time I meet a new person, I either have to say I'm diabetic, or if like Willow and Jay are with me, then one of them is going to bring up the fact that my mother is dead, like inevitably.
I don't do that. That's Willow.
Yeah, that's all me. That's all me. Don't try to push this off to Jay.
Okay, do you all want this to stay in the episode?
Yeah.
I think it makes sense to keep it in the episode. Yes.
Jesus Christ. And we have our 3 guest judges who help us, as always, for the Toasty ceremony to vote in our most iconic entries in film, gaming, and television. Receiving a big old pot of coffee is Troy.
Hi, I'm Troy Boy, and I'll actually be having a sausage patty, scrambled eggs, and 2 hash browns.
Okay.
That's
Thank
a pretty good
Tommy,
order.
I think you should cut that part out.
Do not cut that out.
Be like, hi, I'm Troy Bone, and
I'm just gonna write in the comments.
okay, Troy.
Spooning up in a bowl of oatmeal emotes. It's Brandon. And getting a yogurt parfait down the aisle, it's Jay.
Hi, I'm the guy that edited the Dragon Ball video.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That is maybe like my best looking video, to be honest with you. We have our system for classifying the iconic entrant of the year in a few different categories. But first, we also have the group categories we need to discuss, and we also have annual predictions. You may recall we ended last year's show by me making a handful of pop culture predictions, us weighing in on if we think they would come true or be false, and seeing the outcome at the end of the year. And I've also made new predictions for this year. Should we do all prediction-related things at the end of the show, or should we start on revealing the answers to our last year's predictions?
Let's start with
And
last year's predictions.
Okay.
Start with last year and then end with next year.
Okay. So I'm gonna read out, and I phrased these like just with a neutral pro. This wasn't my want or even necessarily my assumption of the year. I just made neutral statements. I couldn't keep track of every single person's true or false answer, but more often than not, it was a loud majority in favor of one. So it's either definitively false or leaning false for your initial reaction. Then the end of your reality is that prophecy was either true or false. I said Fantastic Four First Steps outgrosses Superman. The crowd guessed was leaning false. The end of your reality is that was false.
Souping Man.
Yeah. My prediction was the Switch 2 would have no Donkey Kong, Star Fox, F-Zero, or Punch-Out in its first year. The crowd was leaning true. This was actually false. We did get Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Got one of those.
Yeah.
That is cool.
My prediction was Paddington in Peru would outgross Captain America Brave New World. Crowd leaned false. Answer was false.
Sad.
It's actually kind of sad. I think I'm actually sadder. I'd be okay with this happening if Paddington 3 was actually that good. I'm a little like, yeah, alright.
Yeah. It's the worst. It's not. I mean, it's probably still better than Captain America, but
Handily, yes.
it's the weakest Paddington.
It's the Return of the Jedi of the Paddington trilogy. Like Paddington 2 is Empire Strikes Back.
Well, and it's Return of the Jedi, how, like, there's little furry guys.
Yeah. And they all sing Yub Nub.
And then, like, they both have Hugh Grant, and, alright. I predicted Marvel Rivals would kill Overwatch. We leaned false. End of Your Reality is false. I kind of just jumped the gun. That was pretty extreme. It happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely eclipsed Overwatch, but it didn't
Yes. In some, manner of speaking.
It's a better game. I think Overwatch probably still has a larger fan base, though.
Yeah, it does have some advantage. the advantage of old. No one's ever gonna kill it, but it's like definitely in a different state.
It's first person. It's more popular. Like people will just flock to it more naturally.
I predicted Lilo and Stitch would be the highest grossing film of the year. The crowd was definitively false. The reality was false. I do think it's worth noting I was correct only until Nudja 2 and Zootopia 2.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I wasn't far off. I think I'm nearly positive what next year's highest grossing movie is.
Oh, I think I know too, and I'm really it makes me so sad.
Should
Wait,
we save it for?
Let's save it for
any of your
predictions.
prediction.
Tommy,
Yeah,
can you
sure.
text it to me though? I'm
Well,
curious.
okay.
We'll just like wait like 5 minutes.
Well, we do it at
no,
the end of the show. We do it at the end
of the show. So a couple hours, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Here, let me write this down. So I think I was like, oh, I know that's too easy, but then I'm like, oh, if we're interested, I'll.
Might as well.
Yeah. Okay. Mickey 17 flops and incurs discourse. You thought it was definitively true, and it kinda was, but I also don't think it was really good enough to be worth it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was really overestimating how much we'd be, like, fighting tooth and nail for Mickey 17, and it's like, okay.
The discourse came from just kind of how mid it was.
Yeah. Twisted Metal game content is made to tie in with the new season of the series. We were leading false. The reality is false. I kind of can't believe that. It would have been such a slam dunk. Just do like some Astrobot costumes of Twisted Metal. Like, come on.
PlayStation doesn't really like games, so.
Yeah.
Well, it's being handed to you on a silver platter, PlayStation. Come on.
Yeah. Colin Farrell's Penguin will appear in some DCU work. We felt definitively false. It was false. Beyond the Spider-Verse teaser would release. You were leaning false. This was actually true. We got a logo and a release date. I think that counts.
Okay.
Does that count as a teaser?
I don't think that counts.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I feel like a teaser is a specific type of trailer.
Yeah.
Like a video.
A teaser's
If
gotta
I
be at
Google-
least 15
If
seconds.
I searched on YouTube Beyond the Spider-Verse teaser and that popped up, I'd be correct.
Why would that pop up?
On
I
YouTube.
guess let's see. Let's see.
If it's just like a static image.
First.
They might as well have just like. Would you count it as a teaser if like Lord Miller like went on Twitter and were like, "Yeah, we're still working on it"?
Okay, alright, actually, and what I thought would pop up didn't pop up. I think I just tricked myself into thinking it was a teaser. So that is actually false. I will correct that on the document.
No,
There's
we will
one
not
or
be
two
watching that
other-
movie until we're all 30.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. There's one other on here we might have to debate. Actually, it's this one right here. My prediction was elements of the Mario movie are introduced to the mainline games. You felt definitively false. I might need to argue for this. I think it's kind of true with DK's design.
Huh?
Are we allowing
I
that?
disagree.
I
Really?
disagree.
Actually, I looked it up, and DK's design, the new redesign was made. He was redesigned for Donkey Kong Bonanza, and then the design appeared in the Mario movie and Mario Kart World.
So it was the reverse.
Yeah.
Okay.
I almost feel
It
like
was
in
the
the
reverse,
spirit,
but like.
in
yeah,
the spirit of what I'm saying is that this is signaling a transition for these characters on a wider scale. I almost feel like that's pedantic.
Yeah, because it's like, well, because I kind of agree with you, Tommy, just because like the way that we perceived it and were introduced to it was through the movie first, even if it was technically produced for the game first.
My wording was elements of the Mario are introduced. I may need to go back and look at my phrasing because I said carried over. That doesn't
Carried
necessarily
over.
mean it started in one. I meant we're gonna see those lines blur.
So like your prediction was in general, like the fact that there is a there's stuff that's in the movie and in the game.
We're gonna call that true. Sinners leads to
What?
Ryan Coogler.
Carried over implies a starting point. You can't just make shit up.
Yeah.
They're
And
playing
start
for
somewhere
prizes. Let's
and
just
go
move
somewhere
on.
Carry it from point A to point B. You can't do this.
If we were playing, like there was a prize, you'd still win. Let me have like one or two.
You don't get...
Why does this matter to you so much?
Tommy, you are officially
You're the one
banned
stopping
from
me. Moving on. You're saying it matters to me when I want to get it over with.
I think that you're wrong and you should be shot. That's all I'm saying.
Whoa.
Sinners leads to Ryan Coogler directing Blade. This is false, and I'm not saying this makes me right, just a germane note. Coogler is locked in to direct Black Panther 3.
Oh, cool.
Sabrina Carpenter is cast as the voice of Amy in Sonic 4. We were leaning false, and it was false. This was kind of a bit. We don't even know at this point. And this one we also didn't know, so it's truly undetermined. MCU retcons either Wolverine, Charles Xavier, or Gambit. I kind of, for some reason, thought we would know who they are by... I don't know. We should know who, like, the new MCU X-Men are soon, shouldn't we?
I guess
No.
we probably know who Jean Grey is.
That's gonna suck. Okay. Well, and we'll swing back to predictions at the end of the show. Next, we have group awards. These, they just aren't taste-specific enough to split for each of our choices, so for brevity, I think I pick 5 nominees that I think we can reasonably come to and discuss. Not to say I'm, like, closed off to late entries, but, like, these are they're a little more central. It's kind of the appetizers. First award is Biggest Shit Show, an embarrassing financial, critical, and controversial release. I'm not saying it came out and it was kind of bad. The kind of thing that just, like, keeps falling down stair step after stair step and, like, eating shit every fucking time with every development. Our nominees are Snow White, Mortal Kombat 1, plus the Legacy Collection, plus the Flawless Victory art book, One Punch Man Season 3, Netflix's Devil May Cry, and the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. What do we feel is the biggest shit show? I think I know what my answer is. I want to hear y'all out first.
For my money, I think it's One Punch Man Season 3, because this is a really popular show with a huge fan base that was animated by, like, moving the NGs around. And I think that's beyond, like, a popular show getting a bad adaptation. This is, like, a popular show getting an unwatchable adaptation. So that's where my vote stands.
It's like, and I feel like it's such an anime-specific issue is why it really stands out. Like, you've got shows that probably don't have the same budget and get worse as they go on, but not to a point that, like, something hailed as the best in its field is, like, borderline, like, forgotten. Like, as, like, Game of Thrones or The Bear got popular and they kind of ran out of juice, it was still watchable in a sense that it was finished.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Stranger Things, there you go. Falls off in quality, but, like, it's still getting, like, the budget that it deserves.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, One Punch Man Season 3, I would agree in nominating that because it is just insane how disrespected this IP has become.
Yeah.
The only one that I think really has a case against it is maybe Snow White, but that's also more of a bummer shit show. And this is a little more of a, like, well, like, tisk tisk. Like, I think maybe One Punch Man out of being a little more fun to make fun of.
We get, like, a live action Disney shit show every single year at this point.
Yeah. Let's save it. That's a good call. If the Toast and Roast Council all agrees, 2025 shit show of the year is One Punch Man season 3.
Do we only do us three for this vote, or do we expand?
I'd love if everybody else chimed in, if you truly feel so. I think it kind of, yeah, we're all here.
Okay, I didn't want to be disrespectful. I didn't want to step on your toes. Like, I wasn't sure if the judges were allowed to speak.
No.
Yeah.
How
I didn't want you to beat
feel?
me like last year.
One Punch Man? Do we all agree?
I absolutely agree.
I mean, One Punch Man does
I know
sound...
Brandon agrees.
I haven't seen it yet, but One Punch Man does sound pretty bad. I've seen the first season, some of season 2, but sounds like season 3 was pretty bad, but
Yeah, it really fell off.
Yeah, I mean, they had 6 years to work on it, and the best they can do is show a PNG for like 30 seconds.
Sliding down.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would urge, just with the phrasing of that, I have to imagine this is like a studio underfunding thing. There's always news about that with. So I don't want to say they're not being given the resources they need, clearly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the overhead is just not taking that care. It's like the definition of soulless executive content.
Yeah.
Is like the disgusting point.
is that kind of like what happened with Uzumaki?
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I believe the statistic was, what was it? The entire season of Uzumaki was given the budget of one episode of Family Guy.
Yep.
Like Smiling Friends, yeah.
All right. Oh, sorry, Jay.
Oh, if you want to move on, we can move on.
It's okay. Go for it.
Okay. I was just going to say, kind of piggybacking off of what Dav was saying, the only other thing that really comes close is Snow White. And, you don't expect a live-action Disney movie to be good. It's not going to be exceptional.
But it's also, on top of the movie being bad, it's I think it's almost more the PR around it that Disney did, so poorly to protect its lead actor that, that, 2 Disney lead actresses have had, news cycle-worthy bullying campaigns devoted to them.
That is true.
That is, yeah.
Is
100%.
the most more shit. But again, it's okay, well, that's not exactly it's. I don't know if we should be. I wouldn't. I feel bad making light of it. But all right. One Punch Man season 3. I agree.
Yep.
Best hype cycle, exciting lead up to release, regardless of final quality. Our nominees are Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, Superman, Marty Supreme, Metroid Prime 4, and the others might actually need to pack it in. The one to be, honestly, Ella McKay.
Ella McGay.
I mean, I think we can all agree on this one.
Yeah, we all love Ella McKay.
Willow, you're mocking me? They were in the streets doing the Ella McKay challenge. There were mobs of people.
There were mobs of Lisa Simpson doing it.
For one day, we were all the governor of the state we were born and raised in.
This is a bit of bias, but I also think I have an argument for it. I think it's Sonic Racing Cross Worlds because, number one, no one expected it to be good. And as it was coming out, people were saying, no, this is really good. This is better than Mario Kart, which is kind of insane. And then they started adding guest characters. Fucking Hatsune Miku's there, Joker's there, Ichiban's there. And then they say that the DLC is all guest characters too, so we get, Minecraft and gay shit like SpongeBob. But I also feel like the hype cycle is still going. Because there were a lot of people, myself included, very excited that they're putting comic characters in the game.
That was pretty. I didn't think it would happen. I was like,
yeah, me neither.
You can wish for that.
So I feel like Sonic deserves it because the hype cycle is still going. I feel like it hasn't died down. People are still curious, what's going to be in the last pack. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. how many times over the course of this evening am I allowed to be annoying about Marty Supreme? Because I almost feel like I might as well say
You're gonna have plenty of opportunities.
If we agree, I can kind of pile that on and be annoying later. I do have a hard time arguing with that case for Sonic Cross Worlds.
I will throw out the case for Metroid Prime 4. With the reason being that this is a hype cycle that has been ongoing for a very long time. That has had its ups and downs. We had obviously the development restarting a few years ago and all that, but people, I feel like, have still just been waiting for this for so long. It's like Nintendo's Half-Life 3, and the fact that it came out and was just such a disappointment, just like that difference between the hype cycle itself and the final product is just, it's crazy.
To the spirit of, not taking the outcome of the product in mind, not just giving it to what ended up best relative to its hype cycle.
But I also do absolutely see the case for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. But my vote personally is going to be for Prime 4, and then I'll pass it to the jury. If the jury showed up today, I don't know.
All right, Sonic wins.
I think these. Do we have heated arguments in the moment? Otherwise, if we have a 2-3 majority, I think we just keep moving.
I do think I'm probably going to lose, but I think it's Marty Supreme.
I think it's Marty Supreme too. I just don't think I can milk that all night.
Right, but
I think I'm going to save my chips.
You don't want a Marty Supreme sweep.
I think for something to have a good hype cycle, it needs to have hype after it's released too.
Yes.
It's got to keep that steam going. Metroid Prime 4, I was maybe the most excited for I've ever been for a video game, other than Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know it was released. I had no fucking idea until Dav told me.
Well,
but
and it's the advantages movies kind of get, because Marty is going to be Oscar campaigning after it premieres to wide audiences. Whereas Metroid Prime 4 dropped just as the Game Awards were. Did it even apply this year?
I think it did get nominated for. It didn't.
No, it was released too late.
It even something over the summer Expedition 33 kind of had that award season to ride into, whereas Metroid Prime 4 just got dropped off your. I have a rental in my apartment right now that I just haven't tried because it's not, it just kind of picked the worst possible time to come out. And Marty, I think culturally being the most important hype cycle, in an era where movie theaters are at risk, Timothée Chalamet just got white boy motion enough to get the biggest A24 opening of all time, and it's a movie about table tennis.
No, that's what I was saying is nobody fucking knows who Marty Mauser is. Nobody has fucking heard of that guy. But Timothée Chalamet nonetheless stood on top of the Las Vegas Sphere in a big old orange hat and got everybody fucking excited for this bullshit that no one's heard of. I think that's the most impressive by far.
And it's increasingly rare. This might be the last of these to ever happen when we have another studio off the board for theatrical releases, because that is genuinely a non-zero possible reality we're living in with Netflix buying Warner Brothers. And that is the major, you got me going, so it's out there now. That's the major importance of that or Sonic. How are we feeling genuinely? I tried to hold it back, but I just it happened.
Between the two, I would vote Sonic.
Yeah, I still think it's Sonic.
I'm
Troy,
for Freddie McCream the whole time.
Troy and Brandon, you're our tiebreakers, y'all.
I would have made a good nominee, K-pop Demon Hunters, because.
But that.
Well, we're not talking about that. We're asking for answers.
No, I don't. I said at the start I'm not opposed to objections. I would kind of cleanly sweep. That one has a category later that I think fits it better.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the hype for that is pretty much entirely post-release. That did not really have much going up to it.
That's a dark horse favorite that explodes out of nowhere, and that is also a category we will do. So I think we can agree we'll save that.
Oh, okay.
We'll
Okay, cool. Well then,
All right, but I see what you mean, Troy. I follow.
yeah. So sounds like it was. So there was Metroid, Sonic, Mario Supreme, or what else?
Well, Troy, I think we've truly narrowed it to Sonic and Marty. Which one?
Yeah, between those two, what would you say?
I think Sonic really surpassed expectations, and
It's true.
I haven't played. Sounds very big, so I think I'll go with Sonic.
Okay, Brandon, do you feel strongly one way or the other?
But I said Sonic. That's just the one I'm more familiar with.
Okay, so best hype cycle 2025 is Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Lock that in. Best junk food, a less prestigious release worthy of mention for ubiquity. So not your T-bone steaks, but like some enjoyable, but maybe wouldn't get a mention otherwise. Our nominees are Another Simple Favor, Final Destination Bloodlines, Jackbox Party Pack 11, Peak, and Uma Musume Pretty Derby.
You mean Uma Masume?
Uma Masume. Oh, it's because I misspelled it?
No, because that's just what Jeff Keighley called it at the Game Awards.
Oh, okay.
Uma Masume.
Uma Musume. Well, how we feel? I feel like this could go in a lot of different. I am biased. I'll put it that way. I think it's only fair I let you all speak first.
I guess out of those, I would probably say Final Destination Bloodlines because it was fucking hilarious, and yeah, like on top of that, like obviously it's not like a deep movie, but like it's the best Final Destination movie, and it's a lot of fun. So I feel like that's the good definition of good junk food. That it's just like it's a lot of fun. You enjoy yourself. It's nothing like about the human spirit, but
that's what this category's for. That's hard to argue against, honestly.
Yeah.
I know Dav is right there. It's one of. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say I could give this to Final Destination or Uma Musume, but I think I'm going to lock in Final Destination Bloodlines for this one, because it did surpass all my expectations. It's stupid and it's amazing.
Any other objections? I think we can lock that in.
No objection. Final Destination Bloodlines is fucking phenomenal. I love horror movies. It's my favorite genre. And it's very rare that you get a new addition to a legacy franchise that isn't fucking slop like Scream 6.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when it's called Bloodlines, like that's a curse.
Might as well be called like Generations.
Yeah.
Legacy.
Final Destination Generations. Doesn't also talk as much as Final Destination Bloodlines.
So our 2025 best junk food is Final Destination Bloodlines. Best sleeper hit, release of an unexpected quality and momentum. Our nominees are K-Pop Demon Hunters, Dispatch, Haha You Clowns, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, and Sinners. And I almost feel like this is K-Pop Demon Hunters.
No, this is like objectively. K-Pop Demon Hunters has gone so far beyond just like a movie. Like it's become such a smash hit beyond any of the others in like any capacity. It's the biggest movie on Netflix. It like made a lot of money in theaters. There's just I don't think there's even like a conversation to be had.
Yeah, I mean they barely marketed it prior to its release, but when it came out, it became this unexpected hit, and now they're marketing the heck out of it. There's fan art. There's releases in theaters. There's like that Netflix theme park, Netflix house. They have a Dance Dance Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
I think
it's a lock for that. I remember you sending us the trailer for that originally.
Right.
And I remember
Did we do it
thinking,
for a Life or Death?
I think we might have, yeah. I think it was
just
a
be
trailer
like, oh yeah,
that.
this will never take off.
I didn't even like doubt it all that much. I just thought that like at best it could be pretty good, but was more than likely going to be stupid. And then it was like fantastic.
Right.
Yeah, it's K-Pop Demon Hunters for me.
Yep, me too.
I think some people might argue Claire Obscure, but I think there's going to be like European indie games that sweep Game of the Year again. I think this is the kind of thing that's going to be like hard to replicate.
I mean, like, if I asked my dad what Expedition 33 was, he probably couldn't tell me, but he could probably tell me what K-pop Demon Hunters is. I'm sure he's heard of it.
And it's the fact that that's true, and K-pop Demon Hunters is rather good. Whereas you could say that about Minecraft, but
What are you saying about... Oh, wait, you mean like the movie?
sorry, like the Minecraft.
Like, the game's good. Come on now.
All right, best sleeper hit 2025 is K-pop Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like Sinners more, but it's not a sleeper. I mean, it's fucking directed by Ryan Coogler. Everyone knew that was going to be good.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I was like, did you hear Haley Steinfeld is in Untitled Ryan Coogler Vampire Project for, like, months before, and now everyone's like, oh, it's... And I'm like, you should listen to me more often. All right, finally, best guest appearance, unexpected character or performer, not necessarily a cameo or crossover, just someone that could somehow pass as, like, a guest star or an unconventional appearance. Our nominees are Hatsune Miku in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, King K. Rool in Donkey Kong Bonanza, Tim Meadows as Langston Flurry in Peacemaker, Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Conquest in Invincible, or Matthew Patrick as Toy Bonnie in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Okay. I have my favorite, but I have a weird feeling I'll be outvoted. Like, I kind of want to hear y'all out first.
Okay, so for me, I think bias is in it's Hatsune Miku, because that's fucking insane. But I also have to say, I think Tim Meadows deserves this award because he was so fucking good in Peacemaker. He has so many good lines. But I think I have bird blindness has just, like, become a like almost phrase for me to describe like things like that. Yeah, he's hilarious. He's great in it. I vote for Tim. I vote for touchy.
I think you can say he's the best thing about that show, and I don't think that's like backhanded. Like, I think he's just that good.
Yeah.
I'm also going to give it to Tim Meadows. I was thinking Miku on this one, but I have to say that one of the qualifiers for this is it's an unexpected character, and I kind of expected Miku to show up in a Sega racing game. So as much as I love Miku, I thought Tim Meadows was actually genuinely not what I would have expected to show up in Peacemaker. But he works incredibly well, and he's super funny.
I don't think he's even a character in the comics. Like, I think James Gunn just thought Tim Meadows was funny and just wanted some of that energy on the show.
Doubly an unexpected character and an unexpected actor.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I'm not going to have to, like, argue this because it's going to Tim Meadows for me, too. He's one of my favorite comedians. He's by far the most underrated SNL cast member of all time. Mm-hmm. He's so fucking funny. And I will never not laugh at everything he says. So 100% Tim Meadows.
Yeah, I'm good with Tim Meadows. It's an unexpected casting.
All right. Anything to throw in there, Troy? I don't know if you... Troy, did you watch Peacemaker Season 2?
I watched the first episode.
Okay.
He wasn't even in the first episode, I don't think. I think K. Rool or Conquest could have an argument. I don't think I have it in me to talk down this. I think this works.
Yeah.
All right, Tim Meadows it is.
All right, our best guest appearance, 2025, Tim Meadows. So we now move on to our individual awards. We will be starting with the performer categories, beginning with the Harrison Ford Award for Willow's favorite performance of the year. Would it be helpful if I said what won last year in each category?
Sure, yeah.
I think it'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice little recap.
This went to Cody Christian as Cloud Strife in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth last year.
All right, my nominees for the Harrison Ford Award are Rhea Seehorn as Carol Sturka in Pluribus. Aaron Paul as Mecha Man in Dispatch. Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the Dancing Clown in Shit, Welcome to Scary. Tim Robinson as Craig Waterman from Friendship. And Adam Scott as Mark S. in Severance Season 2. And the winner is Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the Dancing Clown in Shit, Welcome to Scary.
Get off the stage, she's swearing!
Well, what she meant to say is, the show is called It, Welcome to Derry on HBO Max.
Troy, you're swearing too! You're saying welcome!
Troy, why are you trying to correct a trans woman?
Why does Pennywise get your award, Willow?
Okay. So Bill Skarsgård is fucking fantastic as Pennywise. In the movies, he's great, but Pennywise in the movies is also just kind of like he's there, which is fine. That's awesome. But he doesn't get to do like a ton, besides just like as Pennywise. Where I think he really shines in this show is he is just basically, minus like the first few episodes, he's Pennywise all the time. And we actually get a feeling that Pennywise is a character rather than a force of nature, and I really like it. We get the origin of Pennywise in this, and we get to see Bill Skarsgård as Bob Gray, the original Pennywise. He's also fantastic in that. The contrast between how Bill Skarsgård acts as Bob Gray versus as Pennywise is incredible. It's also really sad because we see that like Bob Gray was just like a dad who loved his daughter, and Pennywise like took that away. And the way that Bill Skarsgård plays like a traveling carny who is kind of drenched in grief from loss of the wife, but still cares about entertaining and like his daughter, and seeing how like the twisted part of that gets worked into Pennywise is fantastic. And then as Pennywise, he just gets so much time to shine. He's a fantastic character actor. We see like new sides to Pennywise. We see him like there's a part in the show where the daughter of Bob Gray comes back, and she sees Pennywise and she's like, "Dad, I knew it was you." And there's this like really subtle moment where Pennywise is just looking at her, and you see his face like subtly twist into like a perfect smile as he starts to laugh, because he's like, "Oh shit, I can use this bitch." Bill Skarsgård takes a horror movie character and just truly takes him up to 10. He's so much fun to watch. The way that he like contorts his face just completely naturally to get the expressions he wants. We see Pennywise vulnerable, and that's like, it's really endearing to see how Bill Skarsgård like takes on that part. I solidified Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise for me, because before it was pretty much it's either him or Tim Curry, but here we see Pennywise in his fullness. We see why he became Pennywise. We see how he plays the long game. We see that like among all his powers and everything, he's, even though he's not the type of creature that we are, we see that he is an emotional feeling creature, just very evil. And I feel like the script is definitely part of that, but I feel like the majority of it is just Bill Skarsgård is really good. Like he's played a ton of roles, Nosferatu as well, and he has such like an insane control of his face and his words and his voice and timbre that really just comes to a head here. I think it is beyond a horror movie villain. It's an excellent performance, and I truly don't think we're going to get a horror movie villain, maybe just a horror villain like this for a long, long time. This solidified that Pennywise is something special, and that's because of Bill Skarsgård. So because it's an iconic role, everyone knows about Pennywise, and Bill Skarsgård takes that role, builds on it, does the best he can with an already pretty good script, and just creates this, like, pretty much three-dimensional monster movie villain, is incredible. There's not a second he's on screen where I'm like, go away, Pennywise, or he's boring to watch. Yeah, I think this one is solidly Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise.
Congratulations. So Cloud Strife is passing the trophy on to Pennywise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. So it's not more of the same from the movies. There's some more emotional depth to this particular performance.
Oh yeah, no, there's like multiple types. Like we see why he chose Pennywise. We see why that's his form. We see like some of his fears, which is really interesting. Dick Halloran from The Shining makes an appearance in it, and so there's a lot of like mindfuckery there. So it's just like it's seeing a villain who is still a force of nature, who is this incredible, monster, but also understanding what makes him tick while still making him scary, I think is hard to do. I think it's a level of performance that we haven't seen since like Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger.
Well, thank you. And I've seen a couple episodes. Could never getting the show done. I could never watch the show while my family was visiting because my mother would lose her mind. So I fell behind a bit, but I am kind of interested to see that. So I think that's a good choice, absolutely.
Heck yeah.
This takes us to the Roger Clark Award for Dav's favorite performance of the year.
All right. The nominees for the Roger Clark Award are as follows. Diego Luna as Cassian Andor in Andor Season 2. Jennifer English as Mael in Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Reina Ueda as Reze in Chainsaw Man the Movie Reze Arc. Rhea Seehorn as Carol Sturka in Pluribus. And Lee Byung-hun as Yu Man-soo in No Other Choice. And the award goes to Lee Byung-hun as Yu Man-soo in No Other Choice. It's been a pretty good year for Lee Byung-hun. He was in K-pop Demon Hunters as Gima. He was in Squid Game Season 3 as the frontman. And he was in this, No Other Choice, this sort of last-minute Park Chan-wook film. I'll go ahead and do just like kind of a brief summary of the plot without getting into too many details, because I think, if I recall correctly, it's just me and Tommy who have seen this.
I think that's true.
Yeah, and I haven't had the chance to talk about it on the podcast yet, so to give some background on his character, at the beginning of No Other Choice, Yu Man-soo is this super successful employee / middle manager sort who works at this paper manufacturer. And he lives in a huge house with his wife, his 2 kids, and their dogs, and he's basically as happy as can be. It's very much reinforced the first time you see him just how satisfied he is with his life, and it's impressive. However, basically everything starts to go very, very wrong. These Americans, like this company comes in, and they kind of merge with the paper company that he's been working at, and they downsize the workforce with the plan of just replacing like 90% of the employees with automated processes, and they fire Man-soo in the process. So he's been spending a lot of time working like part-time jobs, and just everything else in his life simultaneously just collapses in this domino effect as a result of him losing the job that he was very good at and got paid very well for. He's having to reconcile with the fact that his specialized set of skills in the paper company kind of pigeonhole him into a really difficult job market thanks to the rise of AI and automation. And ultimately, what he decides to do in order to get his life back together is he puts together this plan where he creates a fake job listing that basically calls for all of his own skills. And then when all the applications come in, he sorts through them, he finds every applicant that is more qualified than he is, and he makes a plan to kill them. It's kind of this psychotic setup that is simultaneously like watching a car crash, like kind of understanding why the driver decided to crash. Mm-hmm. There's this reflection of frustration that Byung-hun does such a good job of putting into this character. It reflects so much of what so many of us have been going through, especially like in our generation, of just coming into this job market and, if not losing everything that we were promised, never even getting a chance to get those things in the first place.
Oh yeah.
And having this just rage and this anger towards society for like letting that happen. Now, we wouldn't necessarily go out of our way to kill everybody who's more qualified than us. It's very much an extreme.
Right.
But you know, even as yeah, it's not completely reality. We don't have to cinema sins it, like, oh, you totally would have been caught for that or whatever. But it's like, you know, even as he's going through and doing these things to people who do not deserve it and are, you know, just as much victims as he is, you know, some of the people that he's meeting are like in worse conditions than he is, also as a direct result of just how shit the economy is. So, you know, it's victim fighting victim, and you can't really help but kind of empathize with his rage. And, you know, he's a pathetic and he's a very rash character, but Byung-hun just does so good at representing like just the intrusive thoughts of everybody who has struggled with the economy and the job market. And, you know, it's very, very new. It's very, very relevant. And I think Lee Byung-hun does an incredible job of voicing what we're all kind of thinking. So that's why he wins this award for me.
He has if we could do like Oscar clips, I wish we could, but if we had Toasty clips that would play over you saying his name, it would be him picking up the potted plant, lifting it over his head, and he's looking down at the guy who's like in his field and more qualified, and he's like ready to drop it. Then he like slowly puts the potted plant down, like, what am I doing? And then he just like reaches over and grabs a bigger one. Not spoiling anything, but I'd also say the closing moments of the film and how it contextualizes him and his state of mind is some of the most chilling shit I've seen in the cinema all year.
Yeah, it's incredible. The ending is awesome.
Thank you very much. That'll take us to the final individual performance award before we stack up all three victors to clash between all of us and our jury in the final performance of the year. In years prior, I presented this as the Sylvester Stallone Award, and then he became, I think, something to the effect of Donald Trump's Deputy of Hollywood.
Oh, yeah?
And I was kind of like, maybe it's not appropriate right now. So for the foreseeable future, this is now the Anna Kendrick Award for my favorite performance of the year. Our nominees are Josh O'Connor as Father Judd Duplessis in Wake Up Dead Man, Paul Reiser pulling double duty as Elliot Cooper and Cousin Moisha in Long Story Short, Julia Gardner as Justine Gandy as in Weapons, Michael B. Jordan as Smoke and Stack in Sinners, and Stephen Lang as Miles Quaritch in Avatar, Fire and Ash. And the winner of the first ever newly christened Anna Kendrick Award is Stephen Lang as Miles Quaritch in Avatar, fire.
Burger Dash.
Roger Burger. I think it's like the Russo brothers say a lot. They wanted Thanos to be like a new generation's Darth Vader. And that kind of describes to me a villain who is consistently iconic and with a lot of intimidation factor, with a lot of personality, but also has like multitudes over multiple installments. And they wanted Thanos to be that, and you can kind of sense that intent with Kylo Ren. I think all along it's been Miles Quaritch, and we just haven't known it. And, you know, I own up that when I was a weird little contrarian who talked about hating Avatar, I pegged Miles Quaritch as like one of the worst elements, that he's a deeply one-dimensional villain and like cheapens and, you know, cliches the whole thing. I don't even necessarily think that's untrue, but I think that being true about him in that first movie is what helps make how complex he becomes in the second and third even worse. Because Quaritch, as we know him now, is a clone. His consciousness and memories have been transferred to a Na'vi body. Explicitly, it's a different organism with his memories and DNA. It's not like Sully, where it was like a soul, like a transfer in a spiritual sense of his soul. What that means is he's faced with the choice to, you know, follow his instincts, even though he knows they're amoral and he knows, frankly, better, or to change his ways. You know, he has a son he never got time with in his previous life, and that plays into a lot of his choices. You have that complex, but he's still, you know, and you have his dynamic with Varang as well, who's the fire Na'vi that everyone is normal about. And it's very like and I've even poked fun at it, and it's very memed on that they're like a couple in it, but it actually, you know, beyond the, you know, surface level fun of it all, it's a dark mirror of Sully and Neytiri that's fascinating, and it's like kind of anime-esque in a way that James Cameron, I think, has like is definitely I mean, he's a Billie Eilish stan, so I think he's gotten down with some anime in his time, and I think he's just shamelessly including that. And it's something that I feel like villain characters in big franchise things have gotten really like, I got a depth from Miles Quaritch, I'm actually going to put it this way, that I did not get from a new version of Lex Luthor. If Lex Luthor were this complex a character, that's practically the par I expect, where he's not a nice guy, or I would even say fully sympathetic, but I just feel like there's a lack of dimensionality to supervillains that we have now, like Lex Luthor or like any given Marvel villain, that would be deemed too challenging for audiences that James Cameron still gets away with. And I think the way his arc makes a full circle just comes together beautifully in this movie. That's why I'll be happily giving it to Stephen Lang for his work as Miles Quaritch in Avatar, Fire, and Ash.
I do want to say, I kind of came around on Lex Luthor. I a bit disagree with the idea that he's one-dimensional, because I'm guessing you're talking about the Superman version, right?
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah, I do just want to like inject. I've kind of come around to him. I like that version of Lex Luthor. But that doesn't really have anything to do with it. I just wanted to. I disagree with that statement.
Defend his name.
Yeah, I got to defend. Leave the billionaire alone.
But I think my illustration still you get what I mean, though.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. All right.
For order, what order are we going in for the jury?
Isn't it usually Brandon J. Troy?
That sounds about correct.
We can do that.
Just to review, so our choices are a nightmare blunt rotation. You're choosing between Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise from It, Welcome to Derry.
Pennywise the Dancing Clown.
Thank you.
You got to say his full title.
Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Lee Byung-hun as Yu Man-soo in No Other Choice, and Stephen Lang as Miles Quaritch in Avatar: Fire and Ash.
Pictures are in the chat if you need them.
Oh, geez. I mean, those are all really good options. As far as performance, I'd have to go with Stephen Lang. Even though he's just like a man, basically, he gives off the same terror as like Pennywise, I would say. So I would just consider that to be more like difficult as an actor to achieve.
As human as he is, you don't want to fuck with him.
Yeah, exactly.
One vote, Stephen Lang.
Dre.
I haven't seen two of these things, to my dismay, because I'm a fan of the Avatar series, and I'm a big fan of Old Boy.
Oh, you're a fan of Old Boy, alright.
But I'm familiar with both of the actors portraying the character enough that I think I can make an educated enough decision. I do think, unfortunately, I think fortunately, I'm going to give it to Pennywise, the dancing clown, Bill Skarsgård. I don't think... when people said that he was, like, the best an iteration of Pennywise could be when the first two movies were coming out, I did not understand what they were talking about. He felt good, but nothing phenomenal. But in this, he's perfect. There's no other way to say it. There's nothing that you could possibly change to improve it. He's 100% perfect. And so that's my vote.
Troy, it's up to you then.
Oh, I really hate being in the middle like this. I mean, you all hyped up your picks. Like Willow like for Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård makes him more three-dimensional, right?
That is true, yeah, and he's just he's a very good actor. He's good at he's good at playing creepy, and like it doesn't like it's never corny, which is like he's a funny character, but he's always intimidating. He never loses his edge.
Yeah, Lee Byung-hun, like he has a funny morbid motivation in No Other Choice, and I loved him as Gima in K-pop Demon Hunters. And Stephen Lang, like I like how they brought him back. As Miles in the Avatar sequels. So Fire and Ash adds more to his character.
Absolutely, Troy.
Well, I mean,
he falls in love. He brings his son a burger.
Gets himself some Lucy. Lucy.
Oh boy.
Follow your heart, Troy.
Well, I've only seen it. Welcome to Derry. I haven't seen the episodes he was Bill Skarsgård was in, but I saw Miles Quaritch in Way of Water. He was good in that, so I think based on that, I might give it to Miles.
And Troy, if it helps you feel better,
yeah?
James Cameron recorded and worked on both of those movies at the same time. So they're from simultaneous, directly connected productions. They were just split into two movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Whereas I hate to, and and it sounds like there's multitudes of this version of Pennywise that maybe you wouldn't have the chance to pass judgment on.
Yeah, I would say it's similar to the original, but it's like the original. It's kind of like Maleficent, like that movie, if it was actually good and they stayed evil.
So which one's it going to be, Troy?
I thought he already gave it to Stephen Lang.
I just want to check one more time with that context in mind, in case that swayed him.
So,
final answer?
I think I might give it. This is so hard for me.
I think we're gonna lock in Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang, yeah, Stephen Lang.
Should we just?
Well, okay.
Go on. What were we gonna say?
Joey, were you gonna say something else?
No, was Willow gonna say something else?
I was
I
just
think
gonna say.
Willow wasn't sure. Willow was objecting. We're open to objections. I'm not the only one here. Troy, which is it?
I think Stephen Lang, yeah.
Okay. So our
Stephen Lang,
performance of the year is for Stephen Lang as Miles Quaritch, Avatar, Fire, and Ash. Alright, this brings us to our favorite playable character of the year awards. First of the evening is the Metagross Award for Willow's favorite playable character of the year.
All right, my nominees for playable character of the year are the Shield Bearer from Ball Pit, Amy Rose from Sonic Racing Crossworlds, Hatsune Miku from Sonic Racing Crossworlds, Malinoway from Hades 2, and Malevola from Dispatch. And the winner is Malinoway from Hades 2. Hades 2 is... I liked Hades 1. Loved it. Hades 2 is just like that, but way better. And I do think that extends to the protagonist. I like Zagreus. I do. But I think that Malinoway is a lot more fun to, like, go along the character journey with. So... I feel like the one thing that makes a good character, a good playable character, is that they're actually a good character. And Malinoway is. She's basically been raised from birth to try and save her family, so she's never gotten a break. Yet she still takes time to be kind to people she doesn't know and doesn't need to talk to. She's the daughter of Hades, so she's obviously not... she's not obliged to do anything. But I think Malinoway's a really caring person who even the people who are just like, I fucking hate you, she shows kindness to, which I think is awesome. She's got a great design. She's got a cool little, like, goo skeleton arm. But beyond that, playable character has to be fun to play, and Malinoway is a ton of fun to play. In Hades 1, you have all these weapons, which are good. But I feel like it's like, okay, I'm going to use this and this and this, and, like, they're fine to play every now and then. Like, you kind of have to switch because, like, each one can get old. I feel like actually giving a chance to Malinoway's weapons, each of them is so fun that I played the entire game with just one, and when I was doing post-game content, I went back and did it with the rest, and they're all so fun to play. Malinoway is fast and pretty well ranged, so even though it's a roguelike and you have to kind of worry about getting hit because it's like you might not get that health back, you can still play it like really fancily where you're like darting around everywhere, she's got like, she can get like boons from the Olympians, so she can like get it so that every time she hits someone a lightning bolt appears. She has these things that are like, I can't remember what they're called. They're like Blessings of the Moon, which basically give her a super move that can be anything from, oh hey, big laser, to, oh hey, you shift into another form of reality and can't be hit and get a completely new moveset. So, building Malinoway's character, like, stats as you go through is really fun with just one weapon. And then you try the rest, and it's like, holy shit, this is crazy. She's got, like, a staff that's just like, hey, here's, like, a wizard staff, but the range is really direct and clear, so it's a lot of fun to, like, dash around using it. My personal favorite weapon is she's got this, like, anime-esque cloak, and it launches missiles from it, and also basically lets her do, like, Ora punches, like she's Jotaro in Star Platinum. So I think Malinoway wins because, number one, she's a good character. Number two, she has a fun moveset. Like, it's a lot of fun to, get out the staff. and slash with that, but it's also a lot of fun to go ora ora on the bad guys, and it's also fun to, like, there's one where you can, like, throw out skeleton heads and they're like bombs, and there's another where you can, like, throw them out and they, like, linger. There's just so much you can do with this one character, and it never gets old because of the boons of the Olympians and the super moves. So I feel like beyond every roguelike, beyond every character this year too, Malinois feels great to control. Like, she's like I said, she's like darting around everywhere. She makes a roguelike more just like more wild, more thrilling. And her weapons and her boost ups, her power ups are just fantastic. So this year, Malinois gets the Metagross Award.
I do always love, like, the versatility of the Hades protagonist, so I would happily co-sign that, totally. Alright. This brings us to the Kiryu Kazuma Award for Dav's favorite playable character of the year.
Alright. I had quite a bit of difficulty deciding on this one because I played a lot of fun characters this year. But here are the 5 that I have ultimately nominated. They are Henry of Skalitz in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Goro Majima in Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, Mael in Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Daiwa Scarlet in Uma Musume Pretty Derby, and Donkey Kong in Donkey Kong Bonanza. And the winner of the Kiryu Kazuma Award is Henry of Skalitz from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And I echo what Willow said about a good playable character has to also be a good character. And given that I haven't talked too much about, I mean, I mentioned Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I toasted it, but I'll give you some more in-depth backstory on Henry himself. So he was born in late 14th century Bohemia and raised by Martin, who was the master blacksmith in Skalitz, and they were kind of in service of its lord, Sir Radzig Kobyla. When Henry was around 20, though, Skalitz was sacked by Cumans, and he ends up losing both his parents in the attack, and ultimately he vows revenge against the orchestrators of the attack, including Istvan Toth, who is a very comically evil guy. He's a nobleman who steals the last sword Henry forged with his father. So Henry's goal ultimately is to both kill him and get the sword back. And later on, he discovers that he's actually the bastard of Sir Radzig, the Lord of Skalitz, and was just put into Martin's care to kind of keep that fact hidden, and ultimately still considers Martin to be like his father. And by Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Henry's grown into a lot more capable of a knight. He's still working in service of Sir Radzig, but beyond just the duties of a blacksmith. He's fighting for King Wenceslas IV against Sigismund of Hungary. It's all a bunch of historical Czech stuff that I really had no foundation in before playing this, and ultimately I still couldn't tell you much other than King Wenceslas IV and Sigismund of Hungary really did not like each other. But at this point, Henry has the opportunity to fulfill his revenge. He's going to be able to, I guess, kind of finish what was started in the first game, but what they didn't quite have the capacity for there. And that is very much appreciated here. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I think through Henry's eyes, is just one of the most immersive experiences in gaming. It gave me a lot of the feelings I had from playing Fallout New Vegas, where it's just every single thing matters and is somehow accounted for in the world, but it takes that and multiplies it 1,000 times over. You start what Henry's wearing. If you're going into battle, you need armor, you need padding, chainmail, plates, just all these layers up. And if you don't do it correctly, it's going to have a negative effect on the way you fight. On the opposite end of the spectrum, if you're trying to charm your way into a noble wedding, you're going to need fancy, clean clothes, and you need to keep Henry bathed, because otherwise people are going to make a thing about it if he walks in all stinky and dirty. You're just not going to have the same charisma stats and be locked out of more dialogue choices. So something as simple as that is going to make a big difference. There are hundreds of very well-written quests just throughout this giant open world. And you can spend time in like mini games. There's horse racing, blacksmithing, archery competitions. You play dice at taverns. As someone who really likes cooking, I really love the alchemy mini game, which kind of involves you going around collecting herbs from around the world and then taking them to an alchemy station where you follow these very intricate recipes to brew potions. Like, you have to pour liquid into a pot. It has to be the right liquid, and then you have to boil it, and you have to turn an hourglass in the game over, and then follow the amount of turns on it. And it's just the super involved process that I just lost myself in so much because it's just super fun to my brain. But everything is really just truly that immersive and tactile. And there are tons of dialogue choices, quest options, there's romance options. Henry's morality is very much in your control. If you want him to be evil and kill and steal more often than not, you can do that. If you want him to be good, kill less, talk his way out of more situations, you can do that too. The ending will kind of change based on your choices and the way people treat you and your reputation. There's just so much complexity where that's involved, and your combat style as well is just completely up to you. There's so many weapons. I mean, you've got swords, shields, axes, maces, and then you have ranged weapons like bows and crossbows and very janky firearms that kill instantly but take like a full minute to reload. And I just think that the absolute insane breadth of choice that you have in this game really makes Henry just like such a fun character to play, and it makes the whole experience so immersive. And shout out to Tom McKay. He's the mocap and voice actor for Henry. He clearly loves the role so much. He's been playing through the game on YouTube, even though he doesn't have much gaming experience, and it's a pretty hard game. He's about like 88 videos in, and he's maybe gotten through like 10% of the game. But he's just he's a fun, cheery guy. I really love watching him. And he's just perfect fit for Henry. So yeah, that's my case for Henry of Skalitz.
It's deeply compelling. I really appreciate it. This brings us to the Chun-Li Award for my favorite playable character of the year. Our nominees are Elephant Bonanza from Donkey Kong Bonanza, Sonar from Dispatch, the Doomslayer from Doom the Dark Ages, Sasha from Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, and Rick from Kirby Air Riders. And the Chun-Li Award goes to Sonar from Dispatch. So Dispatch being kind of a dark horse, out of nowhere, last minute favorite game of mine. I think it says a lot that I kind of can't help but feel like a bit of a noob to the genre, because I'm kind of like super blown away. Whereas, as far as I know, the way this handles characters isn't, out of the ordinary from like a Wolf Among Us or something to that effect. Regardless, I could understand coming upon some pushback on the category specifics of including the Dispatch heroes, because you're sending them on jobs and coordinating their skills. But I feel truly, A, you're leveling up and choosing their skills in a way that conscientiously involves them in the choice you're making. And if like characters like Pokemon are applicable, I think in that sense they apply. And moreover, more importantly to my point, B, the choices you make narratively do impact how the characters operate on the Dispatch screen. And I want to be vague about that to not spoil it, but I truly think Sonar is one of the characters that his position in your narrative can truly change how he's used in the game. He's a versatile character, him being a con man. He has charisma and ingenuity as his stats forward, so you more send him for negotiations and meetings, things like those. But he's unique in that he also has a transformation. He's kind of a werebat, and usually at some point during the game he'll shift and turn into this big, strong monster with, like, sonic screams. And that duality, you don't have a ton of control over which state you get to use him in, but it does still make a relief. I do find that he's just very well-rounded given the two forms and the different contexts and missions and breadth of skills he can be sent on, to a point that he's just consistently like a lifesaver. I know I can, as funny as it's, it's like a heart of the cards bullshit, but I know I can rely on good old sonar, and just like, I don't know, you get attached to a character when you rely on, you're genuinely like relieved to see them pop up in your little roster of characters.
Yeah, definitely.
And absolute. It's not a unique thing how this game, I think it speaks to how this game characterizes through the gameplay that I think this could be considered. You've got like Phenomenon, whose personality is he's depressed easily, and so he frequently needs breaks, even though he has the best stats. So I don't think there's any argument you could make that you can't link some of the different, like, traits the characters have in the overworld to their behavior. I unlocked with Sonar an ability called Reattempt, where he has a chance to give a mission another try if he loses. And at first that seems kind of nondescript, like, yeah, that's helpful. I guess I don't see how it applies to him specifically. And then if you get close enough to him by making certain decisions in the games, he very sensitively thanks you at some point for being a good leader. And it's writing that, like, and even though they're not explicitly stated to be linked, I always was like, this is why you learn to try missions twice, because you're like my buddy. And, like, I think that's, like, kind of insane a game could do that and, like, have that effect on me. So even though it's largely, like, self-narrative driven, I've just gotta give my Chun-Li award to Sonar. Alrighty, so to review, the favorite playable character of the year will either be, pending on our jury's leaning, Melina Way from Hades 2, Henry of Skalitz from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, or Sonar from Dispatch. Jay, you're first.
Oh, I'm first?
Right?
I thought it was Brandon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Brandon first last time.
My bad. Brandon, go ahead.
All right. I think just personally, I'm someone who likes a lot of control over my video games, and I like that aspect of replayability, which it sounds like Henry Skalitz has that quality of replayability and just control over the character and the equipment that you can have. So my vote's going to go with him.
Nice, yeah. I'd say no two playthroughs are the same.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
What did Jay vote for?
I got the...
Troy,
We're about to find out.
All due respect, I think you should figure out who you're going to vote for without hearing the other two. I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you lock it in, like, don't be swayed by anybody else. Just like lock it in and pick that no matter what.
Okay.
So anyways, Jay, go ahead.
This is really tough for me. I haven't played most of these games, unfortunately. I know very qualified judges that Sherman Potato Smith decides to choose. I guess if I'm put in a corner, I would go with Sonar. I like his design. I like the way Tommy described him. I really like personal connections with characters, and I know Dispatch is very much that type of game. It just seems like he's a lot more personable, while these ones are more big characters, which is something I really like, but I have to experience that bigness for me to really connect with them, and I haven't played either of these games. So something more personal and smaller is going to really speak to me for something I haven't experienced myself, so I'm going to pick Sonar.
And I went through all that without mentioning he's moist critical as well as his voice actor.
You went so long. You almost made it through.
It was so close, man.
I couldn't hold it together. I really thought he could win even without the oral. Troy, up to you, dog.
In your ballpark, don't overthink it. Just follow your heart.
I kind of like what Dav's character Henry, like the way you control the character and the way he interact and have him interact with other characters affects the way they view him. Like that sounds cool.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
That's your choice?
Yep.
Then the West Coast Toast and Roast Playable Character of the Year. A title passed from Shadow the Hedgehog, now taking the stage, to hand the trophy off to Henry of Skalitz from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Let's go. Well, you ain't yanking my pizzle. Play the game to find out what that means.
Good game.
Yeah.
All right, this brings us to our favorite film awards to determine the ultimate West Coast Toast and Roast movie of 2025. Willow is first with her Back to the Future award.
Okay, my nominees are The Naked Gun, Chainsaw Man, The Reezy Arc, Bad Guys 2, Together, and Friendship. And the winner is The Naked Gun. Great, now I've got one vote at least. The Naked Gun, I know you were talking about how Marty Supreme is like the most important movie of the year, and I think there is a case to be made for that. However, I think there is also a case to be made for The Naked Gun to be the most important movie of the year. And here's why. We have not seen a good parody movie in years. We haven't, we had, Scary Movie? Vampires Suck? Maybe back in, the 2010s? There's nothing quite like either the original Naked Gun or, Airplane. Until The Naked Gun came out. The Naked Gun is fucking hilarious. It's not a deep movie. It's not a super good story, but it is fucking hilarious. There's a gag a minute. There is the acting is surprisingly good. The script is really funny. I'm pretty sure we've all seen The Naked Gun, but it's just a lot of fun. It shows that comedy is legal again. Comedy movies can still just be unequivocally funny. They can be weird and stupid and still be just really good movies. I just really appreciate the fact that this movie exists. I appreciate that that it's so funny. I appreciate that it's so weird. I think I just had the most fun at the theater watching this movie in particular because it's just really funny. I don't really have much to say about the actual substance of it. It's just hilarious. The bits are really clever. Even at the beginning, the claw machine with the car. Yep. I'm trying to think what else. When Frank Drebin Jr. is thinking about this woman, and then it cuts to all the cops who are also having an inner monologue about her. Liam Neeson is temporarily replaced by Dave Bautista for one scene for no real reason, and then Dave Bautista gets ripped apart. It's just a hilarious movie. I really appreciated The Naked Gun, and I hope we get more movies like this that are parodies that actually focus on being parodies about having funny visual gags instead of just vagina, penis. So that is why the Back to the Future award this year is going to The Naked Gun.
Yeah. Hey, Hollywood, More comedies like this, please.
This one. It didn't make it as one of the final 5 nominees, but it was on the short list for best hype cycle because of how it was being promoted as an original comedy, and people were effectively pumped for it, and it worked out.
Yeah.
This takes us to the Train to Busan Award for Dav's favorite movie of the year.
Awesome. So, one little update. This is not the only award. Well, your Anna Kendrick Award is not the only award to change this year. I have finally decided, after sitting on it for long enough, that I have a new favorite movie.
Okay.
And that's going to be replacing the Train to Busan Award. All right.
Oh.
My new favorite movie is Godzilla -1.
I knew it.
Fair enough.
I knew it. I thought it was weird that wasn't in your top 4 for a long time, and I was kind of waiting on it, just let it up there. It's got to.
I had to stew on it for a little bit, but yeah, it's the best 3 cinema experiences I've ever had was watching it the first time, watching it in 40x with water and tremors all over the fucking place, and then finally the minus color version, which was surprisingly incredible. So yeah, updating that award. And with that said, the Godzilla -1 award nominees are as follows: Naja 2, K-pop Demon Hunters, Chainsaw Man the Movie, Reze Arc, No Other Choice, and Marty Supreme. And the award goes to nobody's surprise, Chainsaw Man the Movie, Reze Arc. This is simultaneously one of the greatest romance movies I've ever seen and one of the greatest action movies I've ever seen. And I mean literally, it is split in half. The front half is the romance, the back half is the action and sad shit. I have loved Chainsaw Man for a long time. The first time I read it, I binged the entire manga that had been released at that point in a single day. It is such a compelling story. Fujimoto is such an evil genius, and I love everything that he does. This movie works perfectly because this is the sort of the halfway point International Assassins arc, which we're going to be getting pretty soon, versus the very first arc with like Katana Man. And it's a very well self-contained story. I'd say from what I've heard, at least, Fujimoto, when he wrote the Reze arc, kind of intentionally structured it like a movie because he was hoping it would be adapted into one day. And clearly that worked out very well because it does work perfectly in that sense.
Which speaks to a lot of the central homage and imagery as well, I imagine.
Yeah. We have basically Denji starting to get a little more freedom in kind of what he can do on a day-to-day basis. Makima is not keeping him on as short a leash. So he runs into this girl named Reze, very quickly falls in love with her. She is, very much compatible with him when they meet, and things just, as they do in Chainsaw Man, go into some very unfortunate places, and it's just amazing to see. I remember the first time I saw this in theaters, it was in IMAX. This is the Bomb Devil arc, so you can imagine in IMAX those loud-ass explosions were just, it felt like they were in the room. It was earth-shattering, and it was awesome. Everybody was having such a good time. As I said, the latter half of this movie is just completely action-packed. There are so many explosions. The animation is ridiculous. The amount of sakuga that happens in this movie is absurd. Like something as simple as Beam, the Shark Devil, jumping out of the sidewalk and like enjoying the rain gets like 6 seconds of more frames than are probably in the entirety of One Punch Man Season 3 in a matter of seconds. and they go so hard to make everything look incredible. And of course, Fujimoto's writing just is amazing. It's so straightforward. It's such a punch in the face, but it's like it's a very welcome punch in the face. I think that it's truly the best part of Chainsaw Man overall was the Reze arc, and this movie did it so much justice. And I am so excited to see where they're going to go from here. We got the teaser for the International Assassins arc, which is basically the second to last arc of the first part. And then we're I assume I'm hoping that we get this this year, 2026. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'm so looking forward to seeing how they handle the rest of this season. If this movie's anything to go by, it's going in such a great direction. So yeah, that is getting the Godzilla -1 award.
I was telling you in the role of movie critics I listen to, there's the one that I would say is like among the most curmudgeonly, who gives very harsh scores. There's the kind of person who just there's no way in hell he's ever watched an episode of anime in his life, because his job he's seen like 400 new releases this year, and I think like when I do more than 100 that I'm out of my fucking mind.
His letterbox distribution is probably like a perfect semicircle or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he logged this film, and it was like, all right, that was pretty amazing. And he does a top 100 for the year. And I think Chainsaw Man Reze Arc is like number 94.
Wow.
So it definitely has some respect on the name. in a broad zeitgeist sense.
That's how hard it hits. That's how bomb it is.
Didn't.
That takes us to the Kill Bill Award for my favorite movie of the year. The nominees are One Battle After Another, Better Man, Sinners, Avatar, Fire and Ash, or Marty Supreme. And the winner of the Kill Bill Award is Marty Supreme.
What?
Oh my god, I'm the most shocked I've ever been in my whole life.
I'd say that. I mean, there was a lead-in to when this movie was like on its way to coming out, and I couldn't shut up about it. It just like, it looks like, I think I'm a very like, too much macaroni, too much cheese kid. I think I'm a picky Nicky, and I like film that's elevated and like artistic and like, separated from life. But then I'll also but not too silly. Like I'll turn my nose up at like a lot of action. Like I would say action is my favorite genre, and it's the easiest to make a bad version of. I'll put it that way. And I've kind of come to like understand the way we have elevated horror, where it's horror that has a lot of things standing in for other things. I'd almost say Marty Supreme is like elevated action, where it has fights with a big asterisk. But not in the sense that Babadook has monsters. Like, it's always something else with the energy and tone of a fight. And I also kind of have, like, I don't like to say it out loud because people just misconstrue it. There's a rhythm and, like, story format I can articulate in my head as video game cinema. But I don't mean like, it feels like a video game like the Mario movie does. I mean, there's a certain like, yeah, exactly. Hundreds of Beavers is a good example. And Marty Supreme almost feels like Punch-Out, where you're like where you're like facing different opponents all over the world with weird gimmicks and settings, combined with like a No More Heroes, where you have to do side quests and you can have a few running at once, and you can take an additional side quest at the bowling alley, but that risks the dog side quest, and you're looking over the shoulder of a stressful Let's Play. And it is heightened that it's about tournaments and like, it's theatrical and kind of serially that way. I think that, like a lot of my favorite movies, I'll read it as a text about autism. I do think it's truly about having a hyperfixation or a passion that means everything in the world to you that nobody else understands. And I've spent 5 years of my life making YouTube videos about Poon Scrooby, and I don't think that many people get it. And I think I just felt Marty on that level, even though he's, a toxic protagonist for sure. But that's also, I just, for whatever it's worth, I did see myself in that, and that made him all the easier to root for. All of this is on top of the conversation, the conversation that we started earlier about this being the very rare, star-driven blockbuster kind of out of nowhere, in that, we don't have people that can sell movies on their name. Excuse me. And Timothée Chalamet is bringing that back. And people want to hand-wave that is out of arrogance and out of, showmanship. And I doubt any small part of it is. But the more we teeter, film and economy in film towards the people who make it, actors and crew and everyone on that side, executives have less power. That's no small part of why the culture has leaned that way and why we've been manipulated that way. And there's obviously more constructive examples than funding a white man's indie film. But it is still a pivot toward reclaiming that culture where our best art was made. And I feel that's what makes it the best hype cycle of the year, despite how our vote went. And it's kind of what makes, that's kind of the text of Marty himself, that he's in, seeking excellence, that he has that strong drive and motivation that's just, as reckless as he is with it, and as, as horrible as most of his choices are, it's hard not to just be taken in by the authenticity. And he's up against such vast evils doing their own thing. It's hard to really lean on that, there's much else to root for besides him. And it's all of that I love. And I think this is, one of the coolest sounding movies. It's the same director, and he brings along the same composer who did the music in Uncut Gems, that really, cool synth. And it's what the thing that crawled in my head when I watched it for a second time yesterday was this was if a Scorsese thriller sounded like a Sega Dreamcast game. And it's the best thing I've ever seen. It's if About Time had the soundboard of Virtua Fighter 3. And it's just it has that uncanny layer, but it's still deeply accessible as an underdog story and its sports story. And as strange as it is, it's also this is the A24 movie you can show your mom. And she'll find the sperm sequence kind of weird, but there's still something to clinch onto there. And this is also a segue into the fact that unless I change my mind over the course of a year, this will be the last Kill Bill award, because I think Marty Supreme may be the best movie I've ever seen. I think that, and I know that sounds hyperbolic, and maybe it's just the heat of the moment, but it's just hard to see another year where a sports drama with a driven auteur and a small but intimate cast, and it has animals, and it has stage theater, and it has table tennis and car accidents and shootouts. It has everything. It's the kind of thing that I feel they got once a week in the Hays Code days, and we don't anymore. And I think I'm gonna cherish that hype cycle in this movie for a long time. So, again, in light of I think this will be the final Kill Bill award, because I don't want to give it its own name right away. We'll see how we feel in a year. To Marty Supreme.
All right.
Okay, so we now turn it to the jury just to review. Your choices are The Naked Gun, Chainsaw Man the Movie, Raise Arc, and Marty Supreme. Brandon.
I gotta admit, I'm like pretty biased here. Just after One Punch Man season 3, I'm really itching for a good action anime. I think Chainsaw Man is what I need to watch next.
Absolutely.
That's where my vote's gonna go.
I think you'd really like it, Brandon.
Jay.
This is finally a category where I have consumed all 3 pieces of the media in question, so I have something I can say about each. I know this whole thing is based off of personal tastes and whatnot. I've never been a comedy guy. I like stand-up and stuff like that. Comedy movies just have never done it for me. I don't think there's a single comedy movie in my top 100. And I think that's because, in my heart of hearts, I am melodramatic. I like things that are edgy. I like things that make me sad. I'm very dramatic as a human being. And so it's obviously going to be between Marty Supreme and Chainsaw Man. And I think Marty Supreme is the only good movie there has ever been that has a CGI animated sperm sequence.
Son of the Mask! Come on!
Yeah, it's Marty Supreme, Son of the Mask, Seed of Chucky.
What's it called? Look Who's Talking.
Oh my god. So it's not great competition, but I think Marty Supreme is like almost a perfect movie. It's just, it doesn't appeal to my personal taste. And only one of these 3 movies made me genuinely cry at the end, and that's Chainsaw Man. So obviously, with my melodramatic tendencies, I'm obviously going to vote for Chainsaw Man. It's beautiful. It made me so sad. The parallel between Reze being controlled by her government and Denji being controlled by his organization is beautiful. I mean, if they could meet in that coffee shop, I think genuinely the trajectory of both of their lives would have been beautiful. It would have blossomed into something so much better than where they're off to, and it just couldn't happen because of the powers that be. It's so beautifully tragic. I love it so much. That's my vote.
Okay. Troy, this does clinch the winner, but you are always entitled to the same spotlight as everybody else. So please proceed.
So I think I'm very much a comedy guy. There were some things I liked in Marty Supreme, like the acting was really good. Like I liked the bit with him playing with the seal lion, like ping pong with a pinniped.
A ping-a-ped?
A pinniped.
Let's get it ping pong, ping-a-ped.
Oh yeah, a pinniped's
Who you calling Pinhead?
It's who you're calling pinniped. There were a lot of shots and moments that I think where I thought that was really good, and then everything he had to endure paid off. But I had, with all that said, I had a good time laughing with the Naked Gun.
Says 1 vote Naked Gun, but it would appear that our West Coast. I'm sorry, Jared, did I cut you off?
It had a lot of laughs. And sometimes it wasn't just slaps; there were slapstick, and it was just good wit and parody. I think one joke I liked was like when the police squad was in hot water and it was a newspaper, they were all in a hot tub.
That was really good.
Oh yeah.
And it just didn't let up. Like when he's punching a bunch of guys that is coming up to him, and there's a whole line of people waiting in line.
Oh yeah. Taking a ticket.
Yep. I also liked when Liam Neeson, the ghost of his father, Leslie Nielsen, it was an owl. I think Leslie Nielsen would have been proud of it. What do you expect from the director of the director of Popstar?
That's true,
yeah. See, I think I could go on and on, but at the end of the day, I'd vote for the Naked Gun.
All right. Well, by 2 votes, the West Coast Toast and Roast Film of the Year is Chainsaw Man the movie, Ray Zayar. right.
Yeah, Chainsaw Sweep.
This takes us to our games category, starting with the Final Fantasy VII Award for Willow's favorite game of the year.
Alright, my nominees are Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, Hades 2, Ball Pit, Dispatch, and Split Fiction. And the winner is Hades 2. Roguelikes are pretty fun, but they can be frustrating sometimes. That being said, Hades 2 is not frustrating at all. It's just a fun fucking time where you can go crazy, killing gods and mythical figures from Greece. I've always been really into, like, mythology and that kind of stuff, particularly Egypt and Greece. And so I really like the bosses chosen in Hades 2. You get to fight Kronos, the god of time, Prometheus, who stole fire from the gods and gave it to the humans, and he has, like, the eagle that rips out his guts every day as, like, a summon. The game looks incredible. The music is great. As I mentioned before, the main character is fantastic. It's just really fun. It's a game where it's a roguelike where it makes sense why you have to do this thing multiple times, which I think is really cool. But it's also just like, I feel like it's one of the few roguelikes where I can feel myself getting better as I play it. Like, I get further each and every time. Whereas something like Binding of Isaac, I like that, but it's like mainly luck. I feel like this is the perfect roguelike because there are great characters in it with a ton of dialogue choices. You can meet oh my god, what's her name? The Medea and oh my god, I'm forgetting all their names, but you get to meet like a ton of Arachne, and Malinois gets to like create relationships with all of them. So it's a very, like, low-key story. Like, it is very... I mean, obviously the stakes are high, but it's mainly about Malinois and her relationships with the family she never knew and with the people she comes across. But it's also just a ton of fun. You can just, like, go crazy during it. Like I said, there's an equipment that gives you missiles and lets you ora like Jotaro. The environments are great. It just feels like the perfect roguelike. I never felt like, oh, this is unfair because it's trying to be difficult. It felt like perfect difficulty. It felt like I was learning. Yeah, I would say this is my favorite game of the year. It very much impressed me. When it was coming out, I was like, Hades 2, come on. But like, without a doubt, this is, in my opinion, better than the first Hades. Gameplay is perfect. Music is perfect. Environments are perfect. It's just a fun time, very accessible for anyone who might be interested in roguelikes too. I love this one. I say Hades 2 is my game of the year.
Exquisite. I agree with all of the above. I think that Hades games are always really special. I think that would be a worthy contender. But let's see what it's up against. David, to hand out the Yakuza 0 award for his favorite game of the year.
All right. Another hotly contested category. Here we go. The nominees are Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Hades 2. And the winner is... And you're probably sick of hearing this. The winner is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This one came very close to going to Hades 2. But while I do agree with Willow that most of the game is perfect, I do think it falls short from the first one in terms of narrative, especially the ending that I experienced and that they later patched. So ultimately, Expedition 33 just barely edged out Game of the Year for me. And the reason for that, beyond everything that you've ever heard about this game, I mean, like, it's obviously a fantastically put together video game. It has touched so many people's hearts this year. It is just the awards darling. It's been winning everything, and that, inevitably is going to cause people to be a little bit contrarian about it, and I understand that. It's objectively, it's not a game for everybody. Even before it was winning everything, I could see some people not just vibing with the gameplay. It is a weird, like, dark fantasy, super French Belle Epoque type game. It's a turn-based RPG, which is, a very divisive genre for sure. But I think it does so many things that most turn-based RPGs do not even think to try. For one, you do not need to grind in this game at all, because there is the full level of tactile, real skill in parrying and dodging attacks. If you can learn attack patterns well enough, you can beat the hardest boss in the game at the first level. It will be incredibly difficult, but you can do it. Versus your typical turn-based RPG where if your experience level is not high enough, you're not winning that fight, simply put. This game, I think, also just... you've probably seen the nominations it got for Best Indie Game and Best Debut Indie Game. This was made by a very small team. I would probably be more obliged to put it in the AA category, but it still was a fairly low-budget sort of endeavor. They famously, when they did the mocap recording for those performances, they used an Unreal Engine 5 phone app. They stuck phones in front of their faces and recorded. Very, very scrappy type of production. You can find posts on Reddit from 2020 where they were recruiting people to be writers and composers for the game. And they ultimately, they're the main writer on this. They did recruit directly from Reddit, which is crazy. This is truly a game of the people. And that's why, personally, I am not put off by this winning as much as it has. I get when there's a game that sweeps a year, it can be a little annoying that your favorite game doesn't get represented, and I totally feel that. I am just not as bothered by it when it's such a success story as Expedition 33 is. Just this tiny team, an offshoot from Ubisoft, by the way. Fuck Ubisoft. Really showing them up by doing as well as they have been this year. But yeah, these people coming together and making this just amazing, touching story, this fantastic, super fun game, amazing boss fights, amazing performances. Charlie Cox did so good as Gustav, and of course Jennifer English, who I nominated for one of my best performances this year, just knocked it out of the park, and she ended up winning at the Game Awards as well. So yeah, I won't ramble on too much longer about this. It's you've all heard the name Claire Obscure Expedition 33 by this point. I don't need to say much, but seriously, so amazing that this is the big success story this year. I think it's very good to see that in the industry.
More of an underdog than you'd think. I do think it's good to be reminded of that.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll round this one out with the Mortal Kombat X Award for my favorite game of the year. The nominees are Doom: The Dark Ages, Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Skate Story, and Dispatch. And the winner of the Mortal Kombat X Award is Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yay!
Another that I have a feeling everyone could see coming. And, I distinctly remember I worked at 3 schools in my adult life, which was the lifetime of the Nintendo Switch. And 2 schools ago, I was walking into Nintendo Direct announcements, holding out this is the one. This is where they're finally going to reveal that new Donkey Kong. And it was never the case until the first Direct of the Switch 2. And everybody, I would sometimes be okay, if there's going to be a new Donkey Kong, I've got to, make peace that might be, an HD 2D look. Maybe I don't know if we're going back to Donkey Kong 64. We went back to 3D Donkey Kong, and it was maybe the best case scenario for that. I think that this game is everything Donkey Kong could be in every direction. It almost feels as though they made 3 non-existent Donkey Kong games between, like, Tropical Freeze and this, because it's that far along. But it, stays in spirit with Donkey Kong and its imagery and its setting. It's like the ultimate, if I'm like kind of tuckered out, but I just want to do some punching the earth for a while, that is like fully addicting, and there's always something I can catch up on in the collecting aspect. And it does have, if you want to play linearly, you can really play this game any way you want to. There are chunks that you can skip by exploiting different Bonanza abilities early and kind of breaking the game in a way that I don't feel like people have been able to do since, like, the GameCube, when you could just, like, glitch through materials and layers, but it's done with actual abilities that, they have to have somewhat conscientiously thought through when they were structuring this game, and then at the same time, it's, it's strongly linear and well-paced and compelling from that point of view as well. And it feels like it's very rare that we get a 3D platformer with, like, long-scale speedrunning in mind. The environments are fucking crazy. That, I love the burger world where everything is food and there's a distinguished, like, soda river instead of water. There's the center of the earth is deeply foreboding. The final battle with King K. Rool, that I think we can be more transparent about, is completely something else. This was beyond worth the wait. And the easiest winner that there possibly could have been from my point of view.
It couldn't have been anything else for you. It's Donkey Kong December.
Donkey Kong, for real this time. It'll be now passed to our jury to review. Your options are Hades 2, Player Obscure Expedition 33, and Donkey Kong Bonanza.
I think just in terms of genre, with Expedition 33, like Dav said, there's 2 sides to the gameplay, or in terms of, like, the people who enjoy it, and I think I fall on the side where I don't care for the gameplay too much. I'm just not a turn-based gameplay user. And with Donkey Kong, I feel like I would like it, but like I said before, I'm into customizability, and it sounds like Hades 2 has that customizability. I'm also all for, like, roguelike games and upgrade trees and all that stuff, so that's where my vote's gonna go.
I think you would like it a lot, Brandon.
Shane?
Well, with the last category, I was just talking about how my number one bias is melodrama, things that are way too over the top. And all 3 of these kind of fit into that, but if you're a similar person, someone with similar tastes to me, there's nothing more melodramatic than dark mythology. And Hades 2 is exactly that. I love, forces beyond the universe, forces of the universe that are just so fucking crazy. And Hades 2 it's not only a beautiful game, I love roguelikes as well, and it just looks like so much fun. I've never been so jealous watching somebody else play a game as I was when watching Willow play Hades 2. It looks absolutely phenomenal. And Expedition 33 is another game that really appeals to my personal taste. It's beautiful. It's very us against the universe, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Very sad.
What'd you say?
It's very sad.
It's very sad, yeah, exactly. But a lot of the vibes I get from it, from looking at gameplay and images, and especially promotional art, kind of reminds me of Elden Ring, and that hole has been filled in my heart. Hades 2 is more refreshing compared to Expedition 33 because of how similar it seems to me to Elden Ring, visually at least. So yeah, my vote is for Hades 2.
All right. Once again, Troy, it's been locked down, but you are entitled to your voice.
Well, yeah, I like. I was gonna go with Donkey Kong Bonanza. I like the music, the gameplay, the graphics. That Breaking Through song Pauline sings. That was it. It was really beautiful, and you wouldn't think it was from a Donkey Kong game. And it took long enough for a new Donkey Kong game, and the wait was worth it. I hope we get another one soon, sooner than the last one.
Well, Troy, your support means the world, but the results are in, and the West Coast Toast and Roast video game of 2025 is Hades 2.
And something very monumental about our award show is that this is the first award show in history where Expedition 33 didn't get one vote.
Let's go.
We're gonna be on the fucking news.
Actually,
Jeff Keighley's gonna hunt me down.
That's actually not true. There was it initially won Indie Game of the Year and Indie Debut Game, but then it was disqualified after being found to have included graphical textures made with generative AI. But of course they were patched. They were patched out, but their initial inclusion was enough for the Indie Game Awards to rescind their awards.
Yeah, but I wouldn't count that the same. If it wasn't in the contending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, that takes us to the final round of awards, starting with the Twilight Zone Award for Willow's favorite series season of the year.
All right. The nominees are Shit, Welcome to Scary, Severance Season 2, Pluribus, To Be Hero X, and The Chair Company. And the winner is Severance Season 2. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Severance starts now. And it is the best TV show in town. Severance is something fucking special. It's a show where literally every person in it deserves an Emmy nom. There's not a single person who I would say is less than, amazing in it. I was introduced to Adam Scott through Parks and Rec, and seeing him in this role is insane. He is, I would say, probably the best leading man that a TV drama has had in, decades. Severance is about this weird company who has this thing called the Severed Floor. When you're on the Severed Floor, you cannot remember anything from your previous life, and you don't get to remember anything from when you go back up to. So you've got these people called innies and outies, and it's really just number one, let's get it out of the way. The style of this show is incredible. The set dressings, the music. I think the intro to season 2, where it's the one long shot of him running down the hallway to jazz music, is the best way a season has ever started. It's so clear that everyone in this has such talent because the cinematography is amazing, the music is amazing, the performances are amazing, the sets are so cool and unique, and even though they have a twinge of familiarity, they still look so strange. You've got a show about basically the exploitation of the working class, about the greed of the few that outweigh the needs of the many. It's a very anti-capitalist show, which I love. The script and story is really good. And I think what makes Severance so special is I feel like for something to be perfect, it needs to take a two-pronged approach. Number one is it's got to be entertaining, right? There are good movies that aren't entertaining. I'm not going to, like, sit with a bucket of popcorn and watch Schindler's List. But Severance is entertaining. The camera movements and the acting and the story is really good. It's straightforward. It's about the severed workers, so the parts of the people that are basically trapped in an endless cycle of work. All of them are so good when they act. They're two, like, very distinct performances, because obviously it's the same actor playing both the innie and the outie. So it's like, it's a good story. It's flashy. Tremel Tillman comes in and starts, like, throwing it back with a marching band. It's like, it's incredible.
Funkiest performance of the year.
Very true. And the mystery where you don't quite know what is going on at this company. You don't know, like, what Severance actually is, if it can be stopped, if it can be reversed, if there's something beyond even, like, the basics of understanding what we know about these jobs. So it really loops you in, is what I'm trying to say. But then beyond that, it has a great message. It's a story about love and the feeling of being trapped, the feeling of selling your soul. It's a story about grief and decisions and the difference between what might be best for the man upstairs versus what's best for you, and like the multifacets of identity. It's just like it's a perfect show. I love season 1. I watched season 2 and I was like, this is still perfect. And beyond it all, I just think that it is like, it's definitely not as flashy as like a nominated It Welcome to Derry and To Be Hero X. It's not as flashy as either of those. It is a bit more of a low-key story. But at the same time, for being something live action, and for something basically being an office drama, it just hooks you in from the beginning, and it doesn't feel like an office drama. It feels like a life or death race to understand what is going on before everything is ruined. And I don't think there will ever be a show like Severance again. And so for the TV show of the year, I nominate Severance.
Well deserved. That takes us to the Better Call Saul Award for Dav's favorite series of the year.
All right. Here are the nominees. Severance Season 2, To Be Hero X, Andor Season 2, Don Season 2, and City the Animation. And the award goes To Be Hero X.
Do it.
Speaking of action anime that blow the waters out of fucking One Punch Man Season 3, here comes China to throw their hat in the ring. To Be Hero X, while just generally considered an anime, is more officially a Chinese donghua series. It has a very strange background in that it is technically the third part of the To Be Hero overall franchise. However, Part 1 was about a middle-aged man who gets toilet powers, and Part 2 was about a girl. And literally, they have no connection at all to Be Hero X. It is completely self-contained. The only connecting tissue is the creator Lee Howling, and just the fact that they are generally about superheroes in some way, shape, or form. To Be Hero X has a completely original world. The concept of this world basically is that if enough people believe that you can do a thing, then congratulations, you can now do that thing. And the more people who believe you can do that thing, the more powerful you are in doing that thing. This is a fairly simple concept that they flesh out super well. Basically, any question you could possibly have about that concept is explored in some way, including, okay, well, what are the upsides of this? Can a complete nobody turn into a superhero? Can a complete nobody turn into an existing superhero? What if somebody really, really wants to be a superhero, but can't get the trust value for it? Can they literally work their way up there? There's a hero that represents that. There's like what if an animal got trust value? That's explored here as well.
What if Jesus had that dog in him?
What if that dog had that dog in him? So it's a very well fleshed out idea. Every hero kind of just represents a different question that you could possibly have about this. And it's kind of an anthology series about 10 different, mainly superheroes in this universe, who by the end of the season they make up the top 10 overall in the rankings of most trust value. Season 2 is going to explore a kind of tournament battle between them, and Season 1 is effectively each of their origin stories and how they get into that place to begin with. I really have been looking forward to this for a while. They dropped the trailer for this on Bilibili like 3 or 4 years ago. I saw that trailer of just like, it's just like, X at the vending machine, and it's like 6 minutes of him just mopping the floor with every enemy that comes his way with the snap of his fingers, turning into Colonel Sanders for some reason. And it showed this very amazing blend of like 2D animation with like a more like arcane Spider-Verse style 3D animation. And the show ultimately reflects that as well. It's I'd say about a third of it is in that sort of 3D style, and then the other 2/3 are in a very clean and exceptional looking 2D animation. And then there are episodes that play with swapping between the two, particularly when they revolve around the titular X. This just really blew me away. I was so surprised at how invested I got in this, and at just how well animated and well produced everything was. And the last episode just got me so absurdly hyped for what's coming next, and it's like such a shame that this doesn't really have source material. Like, this is the story, so nobody knows what's going to happen next. The ending leaves so many things open and introduces so many questions while answering a bunch of other ones. It's an open-ended ending that I think is still extremely satisfying, and that's very hard to pull off. So yeah, my nomination is going to be To Be Hero X.
I've been floored by the episodes I've seen so far, so I'd say that's a worthy contender. It takes us to the final solo award of the evening. Before we award the final champion of the evening, it's the Simpsons Award for my favorite series season of the year. Our nominees are Invincible Season 4, Long Story Short, The Chair Company, and Haha You Clowns. And the winner is Long Story Short.
I genuinely thought you were going to say Haha You Clowns.
Yeah, I did too.
I kind of did too.
I do love Haha You Clowns. I wrote it. It is good enough to have an entry in my next new challengers video, which is maybe more than it, maybe already above its station. But no, our taking home the trophy is Long Story Short. I would say of the Triforce of media that we discussed on this podcast, TV is the one that I have the hardest time, like, building a balanced diet of, and being, like, well-read or well-informed on. And it's rare I find a show I can really get passionate about, especially these days, on the volume I do a movie or even a game. That being said, Long Story Short is, like, the first TV, like, even with a show I truly love that I could call a 9 or a 10, rare I'm like rewatching that to the point that I am long story short, in that it hits like funny brain chemicals and like slightly sad brain chemicals, but like never too much, the way like even BoJack Horseman probably isn't that easy to like reconsume and put yourself back through. I've maybe never encountered a writing style and show that just captures the same neurosis that I do. There's so many things in my life that, like, I mean, Willow can attest that for the past few months, I would be like, if I'm having a hard time, there's a long story short episode I've compared it to. It's like become a Rosetta Stone for my emotions almost. I think Raphael Bob Waksberg, he has that very detail-oriented writing style, and I think it lends itself well to repeat viewings because there's the non-linear element, which makes it kind of unique from BoJack, and his sense of humor kind of adds into that in the way that they can use the way a character is portrayed in one year versus another as like a long setup and like excellent payoff joke. Like, there'll be references to Cousin Moisha early on, and the payoff of who Cousin Moisha is like wonderful and worth it. And I think even if you're not in it for the long con, it's just like an absurdly insightful family story. Like, obviously it's based on the Jewish experience, and I was raised Catholic, and I don't want to claim stolen valor, but I feel like Catholic raised by Italian and Irish ancestry, and we have some like cultural Judaism somewhere in there. I just get a lot of the weird, specific, like faith and tradition related angst and neurosis that these characters go through. I think that like Avi and his sister remind me of my sister and I, and Avi and his mom, for better or worse, remind me of my mom and I. I see bits of myself in Yoshi, who I think is also coded very autistic, and I relate a lot to. I think the show, like, when I saw it was the creator of, BoJack Horseman, one of my top 20 or so favorite shows, I was like, if this is as good as the worst season of BoJack Horseman, we're in good hands. But a second season is announced, and I think it could surpass it. I showed you all a few episodes. It's like genuinely funny. I think Jay points out there's one like genuinely outrageously hilarious joke in every episode, even if it's like ultimately kind of a sad episode. I just think it threads the needle so well. I love the show so much. All right, we turn it over to our jury to review. Your choices are Severance, To Be Hero X, and Long Story Short.
For me, I'm gonna go with Severance, just because I'm blown away by like how engaging they could make it, even though most of the setting is just like blank office spaces and like empty hallways. And at the same time, that simplicity makes it so you're constantly looking for the next weird thing that's going on, like you're trying to get ahead of it, but it's so difficult to do that. Like, it just goes in a direction you're not expecting. And then, of course, there's just like a big relatability pieces of it for me. Like, it totally feels like I have to become a separate person when I go to work. I have to like switch my brain to be more analytical, and when I come home, it has to be more like I switch to a creative mode, if that makes sense.
It's really horrific for anybody who works in a corporate environment.
Yeah.
Jay?
This is really tough. I don't really have any hesitation saying that it's between To Be Hero X and Severance. I love Long Story Short. I think it's really funny. It's very enjoyable. I really think all the characters are very fleshed out and have clear motivations for what they want and need, and how we, the audience, can see what they are, but they themselves most of the time can't. I think it's really well done. But it's To Be Hero X and Severance.
Right. This is
Severance.
Long Story Short is an easy winner of a weaker year, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Severance is one of the biggest triumphs of television as a medium I think there has ever been. Especially when it comes to live action. It's incredible how no matter what is going on currently, it is always engaging. There is never a time where it feels like the stakes are low. It's incredible. I mean, and there's always something to look into, and not in like the annoying like we put Easter eggs everywhere for no reason. Everything means something. There's meaning behind everything that is done. When it comes to, I mean, character decisions, camera angles, there's not a single piece of the puzzle that doesn't fit perfectly. And I think that's why I'm going to give it Severance over To Be Hero X, because even though To Be Hero X is hype, an incredible concept done to its extreme, and beautifully animated, and incredibly fun to watch, it doesn't have that fulfillment that a perfect connecting orchestra has, which is what Severance is in my mind.
And once again, Troy, sounds as though the results are in, but we have you here to speak. Let's hear it.
Well, I mean, I like what you showed us on Long Story Short. I like the going back and forth between timelines. Like, there were a lot of good jokes and character, and there were a lot of heartwarming moments as well. And then the cast is really good. Like, I like Abby Jacobson. She was good in she was good in The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Right. No, she's amazing in it.
Yeah, she's amazing in. Also seen some of Disenchantment. She's good in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that what would get your vote?
I'd vote Long Story Short.
Well, thank you, Troy. It's always appreciated. But we've crunched the numbers, and the West Coast Toast and Roast series of 2025 is Severance.
Team, Mark is hot. Helly's hot. I mean, for my victory, can I just sing that thing fully?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
You can't cut any of it.
Severance starts now. Best TV show in town. Mark is hot, Helly's hot, Irv is hot, Dylan's hot, Gemma's hot, Milkshake's hot. They're all really hot. Marcus be having sex all the time with not his wife, but it's fine, not a crime. We love the guy, Miss Cobell, there she is. There's her face shining all over the frickin' place. Quiet part, here we go. Let's look in. It's directed by Ben Stiller.
See, I felt sad that I couldn't come up with a good song for the opening act of this episode, but you really saved my bacon there.
Thanks.
Oh yeah.
I will say, this is the one. I know every year there's an award where I was like, I want to win this one. Last year it was performance. This year it's definitely was TV, because I feel like I love Naked Gun, but I didn't rate a movie above a 9 or above an 8 this year. And I loved Hades too, but I also felt like there weren't a ton of games that I liked. So I felt like this was like, but it's been an incredible year for TV. Like, Severance is a 10 out of 10, To Be Hero X is a 9 out of 10, Shit Welcome to Scary is a 9 out of 10.
So adding that together, because since there's 5 award categories, that means how it usually shakes out is we each win one, and then whoever gets one extra is kind of, boss of the pod. Last year, let's see, who was that? Performer went to Willow. Playable character went to me. And then game went to me. So last year it was me, and I'm passing the crown of Queen of the Podcast to Willow.
I guess, well, Dav counts too, right?
Well, Dav has... So I have one less, so I'm just like bottom of the podcast.
Yeah, let's just make you peasant of the podcast instead of your queen.
Well, that's the official categories of the Toasties. That leads us with our final ending conversation, which I kick off with my annual prophecy. We ready?
Ready.
Yep.
Okay, so I say these with no bias or no intent. I just have to phrase it one way or the other. You answer true if you think it will come true, false if you think it's if I'm full of shit. And next year, we'll open this time capsule and see how we did. All right, my first prophecy. Pixar's Hoppers delays its release and pivots straight to streaming.
False.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Please be false.
True.
Elio was like a big wipeout.
Even though that
Yeah.
movie was so good.
Even though it was good, they might be nervous.
I'm gonna say false. I think it's too late.
Alright, fair enough.
And I think that's.
A new super...
I was gonna say. I think.
A new super... Go for it.
Sorry. I was gonna say. I think that's what they said about Turning Red, but then it went to stream with. I like to be wrong at the toppers. Knock on wood.
Alright. A new Super Smash Bros. Game will be announced this year.
God, please be false. Please be false.
Alrighty. Okay.
It's probably gonna be.
After... Troy, you gotta get these in, dog.
Probably gonna be
Yes.
false, but I'd like to think it's true.
Okay. After Wicked landed 10 Oscar nominations last year, Wicked for Good will secure no more than 4.
I think that's true.
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 Okay.
Huh?
Scream 7 underperforms and the IP is overhauled.
I really
Fucking
hope
please
so.
Be true. Please be true.
I'm putting my heart forward and hoping that's true.
I don't trust the people. I'm saying false.
Freak
Yeah, that's
Palestine.
It's hard to trust the people. I wish it would happen. Mortal Kombat 2 outgrosses the new Street Fighter movie.
True.
Definitely
That's
true.
an easy true.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Most Street Fighter fans are not gonna see the Street Fighter movie because they hate the fucking Dan Hibiki guy so much.
But
And
how many ignorant children have been exposed to Street Fighter through Fortnite?
Not as many as you think.
yeah,
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Troy, you got something?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably gonna be Mortal Kombat.
Okay. After
So
being
it's like-
voiced. Oh, sorry, Brandon.
For some reason, I can't hear when Troy is talking anymore.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah,
I just don't want to talk over him by accident.
you're okay. Do you want me to just cue you in for each one, Brandon?
Sure.
Okay, alright.
Thanks.
After being voiced by archival audio of the late Don Rickles in Toy Story 4, Mr. Potato Head in Toy Story 5, who is indeed featured in the first teaser, will be fully recast.
True. True.
I hope it's false.
yeah, I think it would be funny if they still YouTube pooped him. I'm gonna say false just because I hope it is. Hey, watch it.
That's right, guys. Troy, what do you think?
I mean, I don't know. They had archival recordings of Tommy Lister Jr. for Zootopia 2, so anything's possible.
Troy, I would say that he had one line in Zootopia 2, and Mr. Potato Head is in the teaser for Toy Story 5. Like, they're leading with him.
Okay, good point.
I don't know, but it's your call. It's your prophecy. I could see them weaseling it around. I don't know.
I mean, or maybe he hasn't. I can see either they could still find some lines he recorded in the past, or they could go with one of his. Or maybe he has another voice actor from other properties, like the video games or something.
Oh, maybe. I suppose.
I don't know. I think Don Rickles voiced Mr. Potato Head in the video game. He
Are we
didn't
ready?
really try. I'm just
Okay.
kidding.
Maybe. Okay. Yep.
An unannounced Nintendo game will be the company's killer app for 2026, poised to outdo Pokemon Pokopia and Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave.
Yeah, definitely.
True.
Wait, what? Say that again?
Me? Sorry, you want the prompt
Yeah.
again? Okay.
I felt like I was like, oh, that's obviously going to be false, and everyone's like, that's definitely true.
A currently unannounced Nintendo game will be the company's killer app for 2026, as opposed to Pokemon Pokopia and Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave.
Oh, you mean like not a new IP, right?
No, not a new IP, a currently unannounced game.
Okay. I'm gonna say false. I have a feeling that, I think Pokopia is probably gonna, like, do okay. But I have a feeling that Fortune's Weave might be like a bit of a sleeper hit.
I think Nintendo always has massive, like, within the year announcements, though.
Yeah.
There's always something huge.
So there's probably like a Mario waiting somewhere to still maybe a Pikmin or a Zelda. Is it time for new Animal Crossing? No, not the same year as Miitopia.
No, yeah.
No.
And also, aren't they like re-releasing New Horizons on the Switch too?
Oh,
Yeah, they're doing, like, an
yeah,
upgrade.
Okay, so not that. But like the Nintendo like banner, like they're leading with Mario, Zelda, Animal Crossing, Pikmin, Splatoon. Do we think it's one of those, or is it kind of
I
like?
could easily see Splatoon.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
Stick to death. I like Splatoon. It just feels like, but still, I guess that hasn't been on. Is there any chance it's like something kind of shuffled to like? What if it's like a Star Fox sneaking around?
I don't think Star Fox is popular enough anymore to be like a smash hit.
That's like the Fire Emblem of another year, like a little more niche.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean, it could
okay.
be Pikmin 1 and 2, or Pikmin 3.
Yeah. All right.
Babe, you left me hanging on that, and I was embarrassed.
Spider-Man Brand New Day breaks $1 billion at the box office. For context, Far From Home and No Way Home both cleared this number.
True.
Yes,
yeah,
true.
Yeah, true.
I mean, that it could happen.
Injustice 3 is announced alongside the release of the new Supergirl movie.
True.
True.
It'd be cool if it was.
Well, okay.
Inevitable.
I think true. I do think it's going to be announced, but I don't think it's going to be announced because of the Supergirl movie.
You don't
I'm
think they're
almost
necessarily tied together?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes, agree 100%.
Yeah, so if we're talking about announced because of the Supergirl movie, I'm a no. If it's just announced in a vacuum, I'm a yes.
I think it would have to be. But all right. Dad, did you say false?
Yeah.
Okay. The Super Mario Galaxy movie establishes or teases one of the following characters: Wario, Daisy, Cappy, King K. Rool.
True.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
Do we think it's one in particular?
I mean, the first one.
Wario.
Wario.
The first one
you
teased
think it's
Yoshi.
gotta be Wario?
The
I'm
first-
all in on Wario. All
I mean-
my chips.
The first one teased Yoshi, so anything could happen.
Yeah, that's true,
I-
Tommy. I bet you didn't think of that, did you?
Yeah, you fucking idiot. You didn't think of
Yes,
that,
he
did
did.
you?
I
sure
think
did.
it's all but confirmed they're doing a solo Donkey Kong movie.
Oh.
And Seth Rogen isn't currently in the main cast for Galaxy. I think he's
Mm-hmm.
absent most of the movie. Post credits is him realizing he missed an adventure, and we get some like stinger of K. Rool, like his ship is in the distance. I
I can see
honestly
that
think
too,
that
yeah.
could happen.
Hey,
Yeah, I could see that.
me too. Yeah.
Alright, a few more. Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic, is the highest grossing non-sequel of the year, versus most notably Disclosure Day and The Odyssey.
False.
False. It's gonna be the Odyssey.
If it's the same culture that made Bohemian Rhapsody a phenomenon, I'm a little nervous.
It's
That's
still gonna
true.
be like Odyssey or Spider-Man or something.
Yeah.
But
No,
non-sequel.
No non-sequel.
Yes.
the Odyssey is number one. It's like a classic story. Number two, this is Nolan coming off from fucking Oppenheimer. This is like
Yeah.
Okay. I like your. I want to have the same faith in humanity you do, so I'm kind of with you there.
Yeah.
Only one of the following video games releases within 2026: Wolverine, Grand Theft Auto 6, Witcher 4.
Wait, didn't Grand Theft Auto 6 already get delayed to 2027?
No.
Yes.
It's still
Wait,
it's 2026. November
Yeah,
2026.
till 2026.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true. I think only one of those games is getting released,
Okay,
if even one of them.
Witcher 4 is definitely not this year.
Mhm.
Absolutely not this year. I don't even think they're pretending it's this year.
Fair.
So the question is basically just, is Grand Theft Auto 6 getting delayed?
You have faith in Wolverine as well, then?
I think Wolverine is not really gonna. If it gets delayed, it's not gonna be by much. I think Insomniac's pretty good about that.
All right.
So fuck, is Grand Theft Auto 6 getting delayed again? Do I want to put my chips in that? I want to have hope. I'm gonna say false. I'm saying Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out this year. I'm inhaling my hopium right now.
Anyone else have a take?
I'll say the true. I think only one of them.
I mean, it's probably gonna be GTA 6.
Okay.
What about it?
So what
You
are
think
the,
it's gonna? So Troy.
what are the options?
Troy,
So
do you
Troy,
think do you think GTA 6 is going to release in 2026 or get delayed again?
I mean, it's been delayed enough, so. And the more time they spend on it, the better it's gonna turn out. So.
You would think, wouldn't you?
You kind of just gave two contradictory answers.
I mean, you think that I mean, like from what we've seen with with GTA 6, the graphics look great, but we didn't know what.
Yeah, but like, is it coming out this year or is it coming out like next year?
So, what are the options?
Troy,
Troy, do you think GTA is
No,
coming out
for the
this
other
year
games.
or
I don't know.
next year?
What are the options for the
But
other
Troy,
games?
okay.
Guys.
Wolverine and Witcher 4. I'm saying it. Don't talk over me.
This is incredible.
Hey, Troy, turn your phone off.
Yeah.
My phone's not on. What are you talking about?
Okay, I think we need to move on. I
Okay.
think we need to move on.
Yeah, Wolverine or Witcher 4. I think
Oh my god.
GTA 6. Yeah, I think GTA.
Pikmin 1 and 2.
Hopefully
and Pikmin 3.
Hopefully,
Pikmin, you play Control 4, the
Mm.
Wii, Pikmin 4, 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7. Sorry, Troy, go ahead.
Pikmin 18.
I think like after all the delays,
Pikmin 18, Billy.
guys.
I
Deluxe.
still have three. I still have three predictions we gotta get.
Yeah,
through.
shut up, guys.
We'll get there eventually.
GTA 6 might be released.
Okay.
Okay.
Gosh.
That's a non-answer. He said might.
You shut the
I'm
fuck up.
up this time. He still said might.
We'll take that as a win. We'll take that.
Yeah.
We're an hour over schedule. They're getting mad at me. The venue is only ready till 9.
As a win. Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Three more predictions. These are kind of the clinchers. Joining the relative newcomers cast as Link and Zelda in the Legend of Zelda movie, it will be announced Ganon will be played by a recognized Hollywood leading man.
False.
Yeah, true. True.
I'm going all
Yeah,
in
true.
on Ganon as Idris Elba.
Oh, that would be. You
don't-
know who it's gonna be, babe. I'm so sorry. It's gonna be Glenn Powell.
I'll kill myself. I genuinely will throw
You're
the
just
fuck out.
saying that. You said that.
Every time Glenn Powell shows up in a trailer, when Jay and I are at the movies, Jay always leans next to me and is like, "I want to fucking kill this guy."
Dev, why do you feel strongly it'll be false?
I think because the main two are not particularly big stars at all, very unrecognizable. I think that they're just going to continue with that energy. I don't see why they would have like the main two heroes be unknowns and then have the villain be a big Hollywood, like everybody knows them.
Interesting. All right. Toy Story 5 is the highest grossing film of the year.
Shut the fuck up, false.
False.
Oh.
I think it
Yeah.
it might be Moana live action.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about that, and I wish that.
I was also going to say Moana live action is going to be the highest grossing.
I mean, if Zootopia outdid Lilo and Stitch, I almost feel like Toy Story over Moana.
But Moana is Moana. You ask any parent and their like little child watches Moana on a loop on Disney Plus since 2016.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
I
you
think
mean
you have a point.
2019 because that's when Disney Plus came out.
Yeah, damn.
Troy, these children, they have ways of rotting their brains that you can't even begin to comprehend.
I guess
invented
like
Disney
Netflix.
Plus before it came out.
I think
He
Netflix.
lives in the middle of the water.
It's. I mean, Moana did stream on Netflix, so technically, I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Or they bought the DVD. I don't know.
I mean, I got the.
My-
I got.
My final prophecy of the night for you to pass judgment on. Dune 3 is nudged out of its current release date, which it shares day and date with Avengers Doomsday.
False.
True.
It'd be cool if it was like Avengers Doomsday.
That's actually kind of fire. You know what? When you said Glicked, I kind of wanted to kill myself. That's good wordplay.
Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
I think false.
And you know what? I'm gonna be crazy, and I'm gonna say I think Dune is going to make more money than Doomsday.
No, okay. I'm writing. I want to be on the same level you are. I want to match your freak, Willow. I think you're like living on another planet. I don't think we can get our up for that.
The last few Marvel films didn't really do all that good, and no one really like. I have not seen like an iota of excitement for this.
I think that when like the excitement hits the normies, it's gonna be like a tidal shift. I don't know if it
feel like a
breaks.
trailer at the Super Bowl that's gonna change things.
Right. Okay. I think more of a question: does this break 1 billion? Like Spider-Man probably will.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Which
I don't
one,
think
Dune
so.
or
I
Doomsday?
think so.
Avatar 3 is well on its way to doing so. You don't think it'll match that?
I have a weird feeling. I just don't think this is I don't really think anyone's excited for this movie.
I mean, we'll get to discuss it freshly in the Fallout in 1 year. I'll note those among our prophecies. I'll add that on and press it to Willow's soul. And if in 1 year's time she's correct, I'll gift her the panettone that I got for Christmas from my mother.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, that's my last prophecy. When I'm editing this episode, I'll go through and log those, and we'll see how correct we were about the year. And this is the part of the show where we're having our drinks at the end of the night. The guests have cleared out. Miles Quaritch is super happy with his trophy.
He's got a burger.
Helly R collected the trophy for the cast of Severance. It's wonderful. And this is usually where we talk about what we're looking forward to next year. And, we got like a strong January ahead. We got Send Help, the new Sam Raimi movie. What's everyone else looking forward to?
True. I am looking forward to... Is Spider-Verse? No, Spider-Verse isn't this year.
That's going to be 27.
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly, biggest thing I'm looking forward to is the Odyssey. I love Greek mythology. I think I heard that, like, I'm hearing conflicting things. Some people are like, no, it's going to be, like, down to earth. There's going to be nothing supernatural. And some people are like, Christopher Nolan used an animatronic for the Cyclops, so...
He found a real Cyclops. That's why it's...
Yeah, exactly.
My most anticipated film on that level is Disclosure Day.
Oh, is that the Steven Spielberg one?
Yes, yeah.
That one looks really exciting.
I love sci-fi Spielberg. I'm so glad it's coming back.
I hope it's, like, really, really fucked up.
Yeah. I got a list here of things to keep an eye on, but shout them out if you got them. Let's see, Super Mario Galaxy movie, I think will be fun.
I think it's going to be a 6 out of 10 like the other one.
But like a fun, yeah. Oat, I actually think looks pretty fun too.
Evil Dead Burn.
What'd you say looks fun?
Goat.
Oh, Goat, yeah.
The animated movie about the goat.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Look good.
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy.
Supergirl. Romeo is a Dead Man. That's a new game by the No More Heroes team, and I love how fucking weird those always are. The Muppet Show coming back with Sabrina Carpenter. I think they're doing like a special, like a 1-episode thing, and kind of to test the waters. And if people like it enough, they'll do more. So we got to turn out in droves for that one in February.
So it's like a backdoor pilot.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Project Hail Mary, I think looks cool. That's the Ryan Gosling
that does
movie.
look exciting.
Yeah.
I've got a good feeling about Invincible Versus. It's testing really well with like early folks. They had that new character at the Game Awards who looks super cool.
What's her name again?
Elemental. Yeah.
Rhythm and Groove.
Oh yeah, all those Nintendo games that are supposed to be
Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream.
They announced that super early. It's going to be like a year out from because it was announced like over the summer.
Yeah.
We've got. I'm just kind of scanning through my list too. Have fun. Good luck. Have fun. Don't die. Which is Gore Verbinski finally back to directing the big screen, which I'm really happy about. Yeah. These are kind of my big ones. If anyone else has any.
I've got more. The Boys is finally going to be over, at least the main story, and we can stop paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Excited for that. Wonder Man looks kind of interesting.
That's right.
Isn't that using generative AI in a little bit of it?
Is it? I think maybe it was like one of the like fake comics or something that's in there, right?
It was in the trailer. I don't think it's in the show itself. And
like
I don't think it was.
Sorry.
It was in lore generative AI. Like in the trailer, one of the characters made their logo with generative AI, but I don't think they did in real life. I could be wrong though.
Lanterns. Does that look like it's gonna be any good?
Very nervous for that.
Well, on the same stroke of superheroes, hopefully we hear more about Marvel took on Fighting Souls as well.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Marvel's Wolverine should come out next year. Devil May Cry 2.
I'm looking forward to that, even though the first season, the first season was...
Yeah.
I loved it. Well, I didn't love it. I don't want to go that far, but I liked it a lot.
It was very good. Steel Ball Run.
Yeah! That's a really good pull. I forgot that's coming so soon.
Very cautious for that. I'm very nervous.
Which one?
We saw a little bit of CGI horses, but I think they're mostly not doing CGI horses. But they're doing a little bit.
So what are you talking about?
JoJo's
The next
Bizarre
JoJo
Adventure
part?
Oh, yeah.
Steel Ball Run.
Oh, JoJo, yeah. It's cool.
And there's no Speedwagon this time.
No!
There hasn't been Speedwagon for a long time.
Do you think we get a release date for Virtua Fighter 6?
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah, I really want to see more from RGG this year. Between like that and Stranger Than Heaven, I would be very interested to see more on both of those, and then also whatever Negoshi's doing with the Gang of Dragon game.
Right.
I don't think we're gonna get
the legally distinct Yakuza.
Yeah, that's like using the guy from Train to Busan as the main character.
Right.
We have a Korean main character, and he's in Kabuki-cho, like the real Kabuki-cho, not Kamuro-cho, which is very heavily based on it. So I guess Nagoshi just wanted to keep making Yakuza games, but not with Sega.
Damn.
Gosh, yeah. Well, it could be, I was very much dooming about, like, experiencing Avatar, Fire and Ash, and Marty Supreme back-to-back might not be an energy that 2026 matches, but, like, I feel okay about it, you never know. Guess we'll find out more.
I want to throw Control Resonant in there.
Oh, shit! Yeah, I'm so excited for that. That's definitely probably going to be my game of the year.
It looks so good.
Well,
and,
I mean, Fire Emblem's Fortune's Weave does look really cool, but we don't know much about that.
That Adventures of Elliot game looks pretty good.
That does look rad, yeah.
That does look. That looks pretty cool. Yeah.
Big walk.
What?
Right. Big walk.
Like the what is it called? The proximity voice like puzzle game.
Oh yeah.
And then Orbital's getting more co-op stuff. Grand Theft Auto 6 should actually come out next year. That'd be awesome. That would be really cool. And Yakuza Kiwami 3.
Oh yeah. Mina the Hollower is supposed to hopefully come out. If it was supposed to be October, it shouldn't be too long, I imagine.
Oh yeah, and that's like make or break for the Shovel Knight people.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. It'll be interesting.
That's all I've got for next year.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming to the Toasty Awards. I've got my hotcakes and iced coffee already en route for my hangover McDonald's meal. And I'm Tommy.
I can't.
And don't forget to read Why Am I a Girl in My Favorite Video Game Series, which is gonna have the first part out soon, and I am eating the big and I'm Willow.
I'm diabetic, but that's not going to stop me from ordering 10 Big Macs, and I'm Dav.
Well, go
Wait,
ahead.
did you Troy? I feel like Troy
Wait,
and,
let's get Troy.
me and Dav. Or and Brandon.
It's Brandon's turn, right? Because we're going in judge order.
If we want to continue to order, yeah, if we want to be like,
I
wow, I
guess
feel
so.
good about it.
I guess I'm Brandon with the, what was it, the sorbet in the bowl?
It was
Yeah.
Oatmeal in the bowl.
Okay.
I'm the background character that just got their one weird solo episode of the season, and I'm Jay.
oatmeal.
Yeah, and I'm Troy, and I'm chowing down on a sausage patty, hash browns, and scrambled eggs.
A cup of coffee, right?
Yeah, cup of coffee, right?
Yeah, a cup of coffee, right?
Like I said,
Yeah, cup of coffee, right?
guys,
Panatone.
like I said, sausage,
We'll
eggs,
see.
and hash browns.
We'll see you in the new year, everybody. Drive home safely.
It's like, have a good night.
There's a bomb under your seat.